I think that's on. We're good. All right, I think I'm going to shrink this one down a little bit. Oh, and I got to get chat opened. Okay. But whoa. Oh, weird. I can flip myself sideways. Oh, that's weird. That's weird to have everything reversed. Cookie crazy the things the technology can do today, kids. All right, give me just a second while I open up chat and get that up on screen. I'm bringing it over to this window. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're all doing wonderful. Hold on one second. Let me just pop this little pop out chat. All right. And then we got to do a chat capture. Properties. Switch it out to Dish. There we go. We done it. Oh, who's this? Kai. Hey, Kai. What's up? Are you new to the stream? I don't think I've ever seen a Kai on here before. Give me just a second. I'm still trying to set up. Oh, let's see here. I wonder how the settings are on that. Oh, shoot. I also need to check. I totally forgot to check. I always have to check if my computer turned on Vantage. I have to make sure to turn it off. I got some food for the holiday. I'm happy. That's awesome, dude. What are you eating right now? It's always fun to just like chill out at the end of the night and have some good eats. All right, did that. I'm checking in with you, Kai. I'm just closing some stuff down, making sure there's not Lenovo Vantage running on my computer. All right. All right. Okay, looks like I got it shut down. I actually worked for you 11 years ago? In Japan? 11 years ago? So that'd have been 2012? No, I'm sorry, 2013? What was I doing in 2013? Just finished some soup. Nice. Online. Well, whoa. Whoa. That's just the people mowing the grass. Kai, did you help make the website? Yeah, 2013. And also, Mossum, sorry, just clearing my voice. I'm actually eating myself too. Kai, are you the one who helped me make the website for TLC? Mossum, I hope you get some good sleep tonight. Ah, that Kai. Okay. All right. What's up, dude? Man, oh man. Yeah, that website was great, dude. I just used that thing forever. I updated it once in a while. Business did pretty good up until we hit COVID, and then after that, it was a bit of a struggle to get back on our feet. And quite frankly, moving out here to America, my family's still in Japan. I travel back and forth now. Just the yen just isn't hitting like it used to. Non-winner, what's up, dude? Kai, how are things going for you these days? I remember back when we were first hanging out and stuff and you were making the website. I know you just kind of gone through a bit of a rough spot. I hope everything's going okay now, man. Why am I so tiny on here? Hey, Ikram, how you doing, bud? You feeling okay today, man? I know you've been having a rough couple of days. Little bit. Just want to check up on you, Ikram. Make sure you're doing okay. Don't mind me. I'm gonna try and maybe open something else here. What should I? I think I'm gonna open up a window and kind of just screw around with no, not this. There we go. Oh, go. Righty. I'm alive. All right, Kai. Is that? I don't know. Is that a good thing? Like, are you doing all right, man? Just saying I'm alive. I don't know, man. You still in Japan, Kai? Sorry for all the eating sounds. I apologize. It's real rude. All right. Give me just a second here. I'm kind of fixing stuff up a little bit. We don't want to call this soundboard anymore. We want to call it external mic. External headset mic. There's what we want to call it. Kai, what's been up, man? You got me a little bit worried, man. I hope you're doing okay, man. Do I dare discuss the results of the 2024 election? For the most part, guys, I'm a non-affiliated party member when it comes to politics. I'm not leftist or rightist. I don't even call it rightist. I actually did a write-in vote myself. I didn't vote for Kamala and I didn't vote for Trump. I just did a write-in vote for Darth Vader, as I always do. He still hasn't won, but maybe one day our true and valiant leader will one day rule the empire. Okay, so hold on. He had to come back for surgery. Gosh, I hope it's not like is major surgery or something like that, man. You got me worried about you, dude. William Shell, hello. What, you spent several years on the street? Kai, I don't know how much you want to talk about it on here, but Kai, hey, message me on Discord. Join our Discord and message me. Let's see if there's like something I can kind of, if you like need anything right now, man. I'm worried about you, man. I don't want to hear that you're on the street, dude. Okay. Hey, Meadow, welcome back. It's over now. Okay, you're okay. You're doing okay now. Pepguard, what's up, buddy? It's my best question asker. Pepguard. Darth Vader 2028. We can only hope. I don't know. I don't think people want to hear me talk too much about the election. Probably you guys have been like saturated by it. I mean, my policy has always been and will always be that do not trust any politician. If their mouth's moving, they're lying. I don't trust anybody as far as politicians are concerned. Sorry, you're going to hear that message come up again and again. We got people mowing the grass, and every time they come past, it says there's someone at the door. So you'll hear Alexa shout about that a lot. All right, Kai, I'm glad you're doing okay now, man. You had me a bit worried there for a bit. Do you got good gainful employment and everything? You doing okay with a job and everything? Hey, Anne, welcome back. I'm glad to see you're a return visitor here with the stream. It was nice having you around the last couple nights too when you were joining. You feel safer with Trump? Okay. All right. All right. Um, I'm glad. I'm both glad to hear you're feeling safe, and I'm also glad to hear you're like, doing okay. I mean, but dude, if you need anything anytime, man, like reach out, dude. Like join the Discord, message me privately. Um, I always like to check up on people. You're a good dude, man. You gave me a really high quality website that I was able to use for the full run of my school, and you were reasonably priced, and I was just sorry to hear about all the stuff you went through right before I hired you to do that with your. I don't want to mention it on here who it is, but with like the last boss you had to deal with. Um, I was sorry to hear about that. And then after this, you're going through surgery. You're on the street, dude. I'm glad to hear you recovered, man. What are the issues the Japanese would like politicians to fix? God dang, Pepcard, how do you do it? I mean, you've been watching me for a while now, Pepcard, right? And somehow you're still coming up with questions that like no one's really ever asked. You're an indispensable resource for my channel. Okay, that's a great question. What do Japanese want done by politicians? Honestly, dude, Pet, that's something I actually need to ask some Japanese friends about. I need to catch up with some people and maybe ask them that and make that one of the next videos that I work on. That's a great question. I'm sure definitely a lot of my audience would want to hear that. Wait, you helped me make the TLC website, right? For my school? Is that? I mean, I know more than one Kai, so I might have you mixed up. Kai, when you're saying you work for me, I was thinking you worked on. You helped me make the website on WordPress for TLC English Academy. Yeah, you've been following me since 2012, 2013, and you are coming up with some of the best questions I have ever heard. Like these are the things I really need the most. Like no, not that one. Oh, okay. I'm totally mixing you up, Kai. I'm totally mixing you up. Shoot, what website are we talking about then? What website did we make? Was it the JVlogger website from like a long, long time ago? Cuban Dre. I'm just gonna call you Dre. That sounds better to me. Dre, what is up, dude? Super happy to see you here, man. I hope everything's good and safe with the family. I hope you guys are living it up. As always, I know I've said thank you before, but I still want to say thank you again for helping me out after the storm, man. I really appreciate it, dude. Hopefully you can send me your request for whatever kind of painting or whatever you want, man, and I will be sending that over to you, man. I want to send you something. I'm trying to get paintings out to any of like the higher tier donators and stuff like that because it's a little something I can do to say thank you. And the hardest part about it is just doing shipping. That's it. I always worry when I ship a painting, is it gonna come there looking like a painting? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry, Kai. Can you tell me what website did you work on for me? Did you make like some kind of art or something for my Unrested channel? See, I know you're Kai. I also used to have a friend named Malachi who just went by Kai, and that's who I was mixing you up with before. He actually helped me. Well, he didn't make the TLC website. He actually helped do some coding and stuff for it. Raren. I don't think I've heard of that one before. Let me check. Recently, my son watching Don Don Don. Have you watched Frere? I don't think I have. That doesn't sound familiar. I made others, but you got sick from. Oh! Oh, shoot. Oh, you were helping me out when I really went through a rough spot there, Kai. Man, I was in bad shape. Yeah, I was in real bad shape then. There was like a point during that where like I almost thought I was gonna die. Like when they first diagnosed me, they finally found out it was iron deficiency, but like the first thing they're like it could be blood cancer and stuff. I was just like, holy crap, man. Like my life's flashing before my eyes during that time. It just turned out I had like a I don't know what you call the thing. It's like a blister, but it's not a blister. Um, a polyp on my intestines on the inside of my stomach. And apparently like I was irritating it over and over again, and that was causing me to bleed internally. And that was like significantly like um, taking tons of iron out of my body because you're like bleeding all the time and not. So I had to go get a colonoscopy. Not a fun thing to do. Um, and they were able to like snip that close, or I don't know what exactly they do when they go inside of you. And then after that, like I had to just slowly recover. That was kind of a probably the reason I don't totally remember everything. That was like kind of a really rough time in my life. Um, I was like panicking, but I was also like wondering if like my days were numbered. It was not. I was in bad shape. Um, Karasu wa aruji. Oh, karasu wa aruji o erabanai. Uh, have you seen that one, Maki? Karasu wa aruji o erabenai. You haven't? It, we didn't choose. I don't know the kanji, but we didn't, and we didn't choose an allergy. The class that didn't choose an allergy. I never got the car, so no painting requests. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right. Thank you, man. Dre, man, that's really nice, man. I appreciate that. Like, yeah. It's people like you and like some of the other long-term viewers, man, just really, God, I was under some stress, dude. You know, while I was doing all that, like rebuilding my house, I was also refinancing it too at the same time. So, well, it's not actually finished being rebuilt yet. I'm still waiting for the carport, and I'm waiting for like there's a part of the back of my roof that still needs to be redone too. But supplies are still out for like 4 to 6 weeks. It's extremely frustrating. Okay, so I just left you alone to make sure I didn't make you worse. Ah, Kai. I was probably um I was I was probably rude to not follow up with you. Um Sorry, man. Yeah, I was a bit of a in a what would you say, like a funk? I was um I was going through a really rough time then. Um I had to go through all these tests and everything. So like I was feeling like super weak. Like I was feeling like weak all the time. Like I'd wake up and feel like I hadn't slept is pretty much how I felt. And like finally um my wife she didn't make me go to the doctor, but she made me go through like this massive physical. Like it was like a physical that like checks out everything possible on your body. And they did it's not a colonoscopy. It's the other one where like they go down your nose and into your stomach like that. It's incredibly miserable to do. Like you're trying to throw up and gag and burp and cough all at the same time. Your body just reacts poorly. We went down there with cameras and everything. That's where they found out like they're like there's something really wrong with the inside of your esophagus. And like they're like, it could be stomach cancer, it could be blood cancer. They gave me like the worst diagnosis ever. Like I was just like, oh my God, like I'm dying. Like this is it. I've reached the end of my mortal coil. And so I had to go to a stomach doctor, a stomach specialist, and I had to go to like intestinal specialist, and I had to go to a blood specialist, and like I had to have all these tests done. Yeah, Maki's right here. I know you can't really see him well, but like, yeah, he's right here behind me. Don't worry, Maki. You're just a tiny dot on the screen. He's a little more shy. He's not like me. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Dre, I did get through the financing. What they actually had to do was they had to hold the repairs in escrow. Um, but the fact that you guys had all donated for me to be able to repair, because I've paid for 2 of the repairs. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I paid for the material for 2 of the repairs I still haven't had done yet. And then I pay for the actual work on the day that they finally get the material, come in and fix everything up. So pretty much what I had to do was show proof that I had paid for that. And they held that in escrow and finally closed the refinancing on my house. I went from a 8% down to a 6% interest on my house. So I'm saving like $400 a month. It's incredible. And yeah, I got through it, but oh my God, I don't know. I've probably said it before, but like during that time when that hurricane hit, I was trying to finish a college class on ESOL, which is English speakers of other languages. You have to take it. It's a requirement to keep your teacher's license. So I'm dealing with like tests and reports on that. I'm refinancing my house at the same time. I had trunk or treat to get ready for at my school, which eventually was canceled. So I did do like a lot of work for it, but then it was canceled. We had report cards due at the same time, which is like a ton of work all the time. I was also made head chairman of Character of Excellence approval for my school, so I'm running that at the same time. I'm also in control of like the morning announcements for video. We changed from just overall PA system to video. So I was just starting that up too at the same time. On top of it, I still had all my classes, which ranges anywhere from 50 to 53 hours a week that I work on average. And all that was going on while I had to watch my house get annihilated by Milton. Well, actually, the first thing that happened was the first one, Helene came through, and that destroyed some of my undercrawl. And I started to pay for it to get rebuilt and have my tie downs redone. And then Milton came through and just absolutely annihilated any work that had already been done, aside from the tie downs. It can't rip a tie down out. Well, actually, it could, I suppose, if you got like a direct hit from a hurricane. But at that point, you're not worried about your tie downs. You're just probably your whole house is gone if you get directly hit. Okay, Kai. Okay, come on back when you're ready, Kai. I want to talk more. I want to see I want to check what you were doing exactly. I may owe you some money or something like that. If you were unpaid or I don't know what you were working on at the time, but I'd like to do something to get you back for doing that during a really hard time, man. If there's something I mean, dang, dude. Let me do something for you. Yeah, $400 is a sizable chunk each month. Yeah, that's like 2 weeks of groceries almost, right? So yeah, I was able to refinance. Really huge relief. I finished my college class. Teachers already said like I passed everything. Got my refinancing done. The next big event we have is Winterfest at my school. And the scary thing is our music teacher just quit. And last year when our music teacher quit right as Winterfest started up last year too. What I'm super sad about is this year the guy who's the music teacher is actually we were part of the same team last year, and he's a good friend, and he's an awesome guy. And I was really sorry to see him go, man. He was like a mentor to me. So I was really sad to see him go.
Um, let's see, what else did I have going on at the same time? I just had so much. Things have kind of calmed down now. This is like the first, I feel like this is like the first real weekend in a while though, where I could just calm down and like really kind of just enjoy me and my hobbies and kind of relax a little bit. But for me, almost every week, every weekend, my big thing is I like just check stuff around my house that I can improve. That's kind of why I was like so devastated when the hurricane hit because I'd actually spent like almost every weekend since I'd been moved in just like improving stuff on my house. I've repainted multiple parts of the house. I've fixed up like all kinds of stuff that was like, this is just a little bit loose. This right here needs to be oiled. This part needs to be replaced, and it's a small job I can do just by going to Lowe's. And I'd slowly been working on all kinds of stuff like that, and then a lot of my work got really kind of screwed up when the hurricane came. The parts that I repainted, um, yeah, it was crazy. I repainted my whole lanai. And when the hurricane came, it actually bowed out some of the walls in my lanai. And the paint is indoor paint. It's not external paint because you're not, try to paint indoors with external paint and you'll get messed up real quick when you breathe those fumes in. So, of course, it couldn't sustain getting hit by rain. And everything I had just painted like 2 weeks ago was like all torn up again. So, I've spent time repainting that and everything. Um, Part of my roof lost most of the gutter. I was able to replace some of that, but there's still like major parts of another gutter on the back of my roof that I finally I was like I got to call in an expert. I'm not going to try and mess with this or I'll end up screwing up my house. So I replaced all the spouts, like the ones that hang down, but there's like a big one across the top, and I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to replace that. Lovok paint. Lovok Paint is actually my rapper name. They're like, yo, what's up, Lovok? Um, they're a small Japanese community where, nah, in the area I live, you can look it up on a map, man. It's pretty much Bradenton. I live a small city off the side of Bradenton, and yeah, if you saw the area, you'd be like, oh yeah, definitely. There's not a single Japanese person out there. There's some communities out in Tampa. I heard there's like a Japanese community out in Tampa, but sorry. No offense to Tampa, but it's the armpit of Florida. I don't want to go out there. Um, it's not that I don't like Tampa or anything. There's some nice stuff there. I've had some good times back when I was in college. But it's a real pain to drive on the road out there, man. It's like spaghetti lanes of traffic. And I kind of get a lot of anxiety driving out there. Um, I'm not a big fan of driving on the highway. I'm not like a person who loves to drive. I've only been in one accident my entire life. It was a guy who hit the brakes at a green light, and I was almost able to miss him, but slightly caught the edge of his bumper. And that's the only accident I've ever been in. But it's probably the ADHD in me that makes me always like visualize every horrible scenario that could happen while I'm driving. So, what happened? I just lost. Okay. What the heck? What is going on? What? My mouse is not communicating with my. What is going on? Oh, there we go. That was weird. It was like Bluetooth cut out for a second. Miami is hell. Yeah, no offense to Miami. I'm not a big fan of Miami. It's not for someone like me. I'm kind of a homebody. Um, as you guys probably know. Um, Busch Gardens is nice. I I always make a joke with my class. One of my classes where like they were supposed to take a trip. It was actually Maki's class, my son's class. They were supposed to take their end of the year trip to Busch Gardens last year, and they canceled. Like the school canceled, and they had to go to NASA Kennedy Space Center instead. And I was like, uh-oh, this year they're gonna cancel Busch Gardens again, and you're gonna just go to Olive Garden instead. Like I always make fun, but it's always gonna be something worse than last time. What's wrong with Miami? There's nothing wrong with Miami. Um, it's beautiful. The weather is nice. It's got an amazing nightlife. There's a lot of fashion, a lot of beautiful houses out there. There's a wonderful Hispanic community. I'm just not like I'm not a nightlife type of guy. Nothing's if anything's wrong, it's me. I'm not the kind of guy made for Miami and stuff like that. If you really want to get like have a good time in Miami and stuff like that, their nightlife is like amazing and stuff like that. And you know, that's fine. I just don't. I'm too old. That's all. You're just listening to an old guy be like, I don't like that part. I'm not a nightlife type of guy anymore. I always make that joke about Olive Garden. Be like, can't afford Busch Gardens. I'll take you to Olive Garden instead. How about that? Latino or Latinx? I'm not trying to be like non-PC or anything like that, but what's the difference between Latino and Latinx? Like I've heard that said before, the Latinx, but I don't really know what does that mean when you say it with an X. I don't know what I'm not trying to be goofy or sarcastic. I just really don't know, and I don't want to like offend anybody. What specific? Dang it. Oh, got it out. Oh, God. You ever get like a piece of food stuck between your teeth so bad that it makes your whole entire mouth uncomfortable on the inside? I just had that a second ago right now. That's why I suddenly like went silent and kept picking my teeth. Okay. Pep with another great question. Let me write this one down too. Hold on. Okay. Latinx is a slur. No Latino likes it. Okay, I'll make sure to never say that. Oh my gosh, I don't want to be like using racial slurs or anything. I'm pretty sure Latinx. Oh, is it? Holy cow. All right. Good thing you guys warned me, man. I don't want to be like offensive or anything, dude. I've just never heard like I mean I work with like a lot of Latino people and like I have Latino kids at my school and they're all wonderful, wonderful people. The teachers are like one's like a doctorate and she's incredibly intelligent and like the head of the science. Every Latino kid I have is, incredibly polite and nice and I love all my Latin students and stuff. I've had to take a class recently on teaching ELL, which is sometimes very common with the Latin community that they'll come in with not fully fluent in English. So you have to take this class to learn about how to deal with it. But I mean, honestly, like they're really well behaved and really polite and nice. I got nothing but love for the Latin community, but I had never heard that one before. Like I kind of heard I heard some people saying this like, but I don't speak any Spanish or anything, so I don't totally understand, what adding the X even means. This is like a racist thing to do that? Yikes, man. Good thing you guys told me. See, like, this is some stuff that I've missed out on since I've been gone from America. Like, I hear stuff like this, and I'm like, what does it even mean? I remember when I got back, there's a couple words, like people saying cap, no cap. And I thought it was like what you're wearing when you go outside. Well, today's cap or no cap? Like, is it like if it's sunny, you want to wear a wide brim one, or If it's not, you don't want to wear it. And like the people are like, no, it's lying. That's lying or not lying. That's what cap. And I'm like, oh wow, that's new. I never heard that. And then the other one was bussin'. They'd be like, this food is bussin'. And I thought it was like Uber Eats or something, like you're bussing the food around. And when I kept hearing it, I'd be like, I think I've talked about this before. There's a couple things like when I came back, I was kind of like, what exactly? Oh, Riz too. I didn't know what Riz was. People are like, yo, you Riz it up, Mr. Ackerman? And I'm like, what is rizzing? What is this Riz? How is this like, I thought this was like some like different version of a razor or something. Like there's a razor and then there's a rizzer. So there is a lot I needed to learn when I came back. Latin people don't like the term Latinx. Just forget everything the people called you racist. No, nobody's. They're not. I don't think they're calling me racist. I think they were just trying to explain to me that it would maybe be racist. I don't think anybody's actually trying to call me racist or anything like that. So I mean, like, don't. But thank you for looking out for me, Kai. But Kai, like, all right. Kai, you gotta hit me up. Like, hit me up in can you revive my memory from that time of what you were working on and stuff? If you actually were making some websites or something like that, like I probably owe you some money or something like that. Like I don't know what exactly we had going on, but I'd like to pay you if you were working for me at that time. And I didn't like. I know I went kind of dead online. That's actually when my whole channel went down for 2 years. Like I didn't make a video for almost 2 years. I thought it was just done. My school was stressing me out. Then I was pretty much getting so stressed out that's why I had the polyp, whatever they call it, in your esophagus. So I was getting so stressed out by starting that school that I was like starting to bleed on the inside of my stomach, and that's where I got the iron deficiency. So anything I was working on at the time, I just kind of like, I focused the little energy I did have just on like trying to keep my school open. It wasn't in the red anymore. Like I got into the black like pretty quick after I opened the school, but it was just like maintaining that was like it's stressful. I don't know if I'd ever recommend anybody to open their own business. I don't think I would ever do it again. Not a good memory really. I had some really good students. I met some really awesome people, but the management of like a full cell phone business, the hiring, the firing, the doing your taxes, making sure everybody's got health insurance, it was a lot. It was a lot to take on. I don't think I was ready. I probably wasn't ready. I definitely wasn't ready. I mean, finally, then COVID was the final punch that kind of just like KO'd me as far as that. I was just like, I can't keep doing this anymore. The Rizzler, yeah. Recently, my son keeps singing a song about Rizzler or something. I don't want to be your Rizzler. You're so phantom. And I didn't know what phantom tax was too. I'm like, what is phantom tax? Like I kept trying to look up like tax codes and stuff like that. I'm like, how does one pay these phantom taxes? And then I eventually realized it was like a streamer had taken a bite of someone else's food and then said that was phantom tax because his name was Phantom. And I mean, simpler things like saying somebody's Sigma, I can understand that. Like that's, but like there's a lot of stuff I was just like, what are you guys talking about? So, I see what I'm doing wrong here. I keep trying to roll up. Okay. To charm someone. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. I mean, I eventually figured it out kinda. Cause I think one kid in my class actually explained it to me. They're like, it's like charisma. And I was like, oh, to be charismatic. Okay. Hold on, I'm getting kind of hot in this. Today I found out, like it's kind of hard for me to shop for clothes in America, especially when it comes to, well, pants is the hardest to buy for me because I'm like 33 length leg, but 28-inch waist or 27-inch waist, depending on who the maker is. And being 45 years old, trying to find pants that fit at 28-inch waist is like freaking impossible in America, dude. And also, even when I buy like shirts, like I just bought this today, if I buy a size small in men's, it's usually still too crazy baggy on me. But today I found out Wrangler, their size small adult men's shirt actually fits me like a small shirt, like a normal, like it's got a really good tight fit. I really like it. So I got to be buying more Wrangler clothes, man. Wrangler fits me really well. Very happy. This stream sponsored by Wrangler. Where are your jeans from? I don't know. I just made that up. No, but Wrangler seriously like good fit. I don't know. I'm gonna blow this up because I don't have anything else. All right. Hold on. I'm trying to catch up with what everybody's saying. This is a good stream tonight. We got a pretty good turnout tonight. Okuni, welcome. Okay, sorry. Actually, Pep, I got to keep writing down your stuff. What specific challenges did you face in the place where you used to live in Japan? Like in Florida, a hurricane can damage your house. The weather is humid and you spend more on AC. Challenges I faced in Osaka, Japan. I can answer just a little bit, but I'll go into like a bigger video later to answer some of this. But we did deal with some aftershocks from Fukushima. We were almost 2 hours away from that, so we didn't like take any massive hits or anything like that. But we actually had one place where we lived, like our sliding glass door cracked and stuff from like earthquakes and stuff like that. We had one really bad hurricane one time actually reach Osaka, which is pretty rare because Osaka is pretty deep, like landlocked. But we had one that actually got all the way out to us there, and it ripped everybody's roof apart, man. It took those terracotta roofs that a lot of places have in Japan. It annihilated those, man. It was crazy. Hold on, I gotta stand up. I just ate a bunch of food. I don't know if if you're your first time on the stream and you don't know, if Unrested eats a bunch of food, suddenly he wants to be rested. I always get like super sleepy right after I eat a bunch of food. So I have to stand up so I don't start to get like, if I kept sitting there, like it'll go away in like a little bit, probably like 30 minutes, I'll be back to normal. But like my eyes start to, I didn't sleep much either last night. I didn't get really good sleep. I only slept like 2 or 3 hours last night. So it'll hit me quick if I try to stay seated. Okay, hold on. Let me just catch up with what everybody's saying. So can I just ask this though? Like, if no Latino likes this word, and I'm not trying to be racist or anything, I don't know if am I saying it? Is it like dropping the N-bomb or anything like that? Is that how bad the Latin with the X is? Because I don't want to be like throwing that around. I'm gonna get my channel shut down. So like, how did this word come up? Like, how was it? Was it made by Latin people, like Hispanic people? Who made this up? Like, who created this word, and what was the functionality of it? I mean, I guess I could just go read etymological history online. Olive Garden is so bland. I always think of Olive Garden as like really oily. I had a friend who worked there once, and they said almost everything in the back kitchen is just like bags of food they cut open and just like microwave. He said like it might as well be called Microwave Garden. So I don't know. I never was overly impressed with Olive Garden. There's never like any meal I had there was like, damn, but do you remember those blah 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 at Olive Garden? They are so good to eat. There's never, kind of the breadsticks kind of good. That's about it. Oh, you got the soup from Olive Garden. Okay, that's good, man. I hope you're enjoying it, Kai. Latino is better. All right, so just stick with what I already know. Hold on, I gotta blow. Oh no, that's right. I can't blow this up bigger, or then it takes over the whole screen. All right. Just forget everything. Okay. If I remember right, Latino is used for Latinos of all genders, while Latina is a more fancy term for Latino women. Oh, okay, okay. So then is Latino with an X at the end? Is that like is that like a non-binary Latin person? What does that mean then? I'm super confused. Don't even know what adding the X means. I guess it's a US thing. Okay. Right. So it's just like a totally like made up word or something? I'm so confused. Oh, recently my friend's saying this to me, Bet. Like when I'll be like, hey, he's like, what time should I show up today? And I'm like, probably 11 p.m. I mean, 11 p.m. 11 a.m. would be good. He's like, bet. And I'm just like, on what? Are we gambling now? What is? So does that just mean like for sure or like got you? Or like, okay, understood. Is that what it means when you say bet now? Oh, Tim, what's up, man? Sorry I didn't say hello earlier. I'm just kind of going back through old comments. It's not Latinx, it's Latinx. Latinx? Oh gosh, I hope I'm not like saying something horrible right now. It's okay. Latinx. Okay, that just makes me think of like a Peter Pan character or something like that. I didn't fully understand it either. Figured it was kind of a derogatory thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. I better not keep saying that then. Holy cow. Oh God, yeah, dude. I would never drop the N word. Holy cow. No way. I don't. That's one thing I don't understand. Like, there's all these people that like later it's like, I think like even Mr. Beast did it, didn't he? Is like, um, he was caught dropping the M-bomb like on some of his older videos when he was like 14 or something like that. Which, okay, I get it. You're just a dumb 14-year-old, but like, even looking back at my own self, like there's times where I'm like, gosh, I'm glad the internet wasn't around when I was a teenager because I probably would have screwed myself up pretty bad. But there's never a point in my past where I ever thought it was okay to drop the N-bomb. Like, I can't imagine. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just like the household I grew up in or something like that. But my parents would be so disappointed. Like, they'd be mortified. Oh my God. My best friend all through elementary school was Samuel Moeller. He would have been pissed. I can't imagine using words like that. Oh, they're trying to remove the gender. Okay. So I'm right. It is like a non-binary term for Latin people. Okay, I think I understand it now. So I took German back in high school, and within German, there's like a gender for every word. Like a table is male, and like a chair is female, and stuff like that. So is it kind of like that? Like there's like male, female, and neuter words for how you address someone. So like for example, well, I mean, there's not really that much in Japanese that ever gets in a gender base. But if you're gonna introduce yourself as a guy, you would definitely say boku wa or watashi wa, um, or ore wa. But for a girl, they'd be more likely to say atashi wa or watashi wa too. But it would be kind of rare for them to say boku wa because boku is definitely more like male. So if you're referring to someone who's Latino and non-binary Latinx, so it's not really racist then. It's just kind of like gender ambiguous. America's so confusing. What the heck? Hey, August, what's up, man? Sorry I didn't say hi. I just saw your message right now, dude. I'm doing pretty good. Oh, and Thrustavius, gosh. Josh, man, I hope you're doing okay, man. Nowhere near the end word. It's just something. The career-ending word. Yeah, the N word is definitely a career-ending word, dude. I don't know. Speaking of sleep, I went to sleep shortly after finishing making my oat milk this morning after the last stream. Well, I hope you got some good sleep then, Meadow. But anyway, August, I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself? How's this weekend been treating you? Olive Garden unlimited soup and salad is a good deal. All right. And by the way, welcome, Nature Nerd. Always glad to see you around too. Ricardo, what's up, dude? Okay, here we go. Ricardo, Latinx is considered an insult because it's from people who are trying to police how people speak Spanish. Wait, are you telling me this word, this Latinx word, was created by people who are not Latino and then told that it needed to be within the Spanish language? So it was. Is this for real? So it'd be like if I came to Japan, learned how to speak Japanese, and then said, guys, I'm actually non-binary, so I'm not going to use Atashi or Watashi wa. For me, I'm Zatashi wa. And you guys need to start saying Zatashi for Scott. Like, there's no such thing as Zatashi. I just made that up. But it's like me creating my own word to try and insert in someone else's language. I mean, there's slang that kind of works like that. But what slurs does Japanese use against other Japanese? Wait, Japanese being racist to another Japanese person? I think probably this isn't like a really bad word or anything like that, but like saying gehin is kind of like saying like you're ghetto. Probably one of the more worst, great and double superlative there, Scott. The time. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, I gotta. Okay, I just thought of one. So I don't know how. I don't know exactly how they would say it, but I remember there's something they could say that would be like your blood is like mixed blood, like half Chinese or half Korean or half, like to them that's like a really heavy insult, because if you want to meet the most racist people that are most racist against Asians, it's every Asian in every Asian country, dude. They're the most racist people against each other, man. I don't think I've ever heard anyone non-Asian be as racist against Asians as, full-blooded Asians, Holy cow, man. They have like all these preconceived ideas about each other's countries and stuff like that. It's kind of sad to hear sometimes, like what they like the stuff they utter about each other over there. I don't want to even spread it or like talk about it too much because it's just kind of disheartening. A lot of it goes back to like World War II stuff that they're like, I will say a lot of Japanese people are very racist towards Chinese, and Chinese people are very racist towards Japanese. And that got even more worse after COVID. So it's sad to see. And I forget what, there was one word, it was like you're half Korean, or it's like a half blood. I forget what the exact word is. It's something like Hanbunchi no Kankoku or something like that. I shouldn't be talking like this on stream. What am I doing? Even if it's another language, I don't want to be like racist. There's actually even, I don't think they can do this anymore, but there used to be companies that would like make you do a blood test before you got hired to check if you were like half Chinese or half Korean. and then they wouldn't hire you because of that. But I think that's actually illegal now. So like I said, the most racist Asians I ever met are other Asians. The most racist people towards Asians are other Asians. My God, they talk a lot of trash about each other. Although, I will say recently, like in the last few years, Japanese and South Korean relationships have like strengthened a lot. There's a lot of stuff that they enjoy from each other's cultures now. Like they're really big into each other's music, especially Japanese men and actually Japanese women too. Like they love like Korean boy bands and girl bands. Man, they love them. In fact, they're so popular in Japan that most of the biggest, most popular South Korean bands you've ever seen, like Kara or Blackpink, most of them when they come to Japan, they're able to sing all the songs in Japanese as well. Like they almost always like are bilingual with what languages they'll sing their songs in and stuff too. Like most of them have the whole song memorized in Japanese too. And when they come to Japan, they do a fully Japanese concert and everything. And even when they get interviewed, like their Japanese is impeccable. The Korean people learn it so fast. Super jealous, man. They just bam, they got. I think it's because if I'm correct, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't speak any kind of like the only words I know in Korean are like pabuda and pegopa. So pegopa is like I'm hungry, and pabuda is like I'm full. That's it. And hamsamnida, that's it. That's the only Korean words I can speak. So yeah, they're like becoming more and more friendly with each other. They exchange a lot of technology now. I think probably, they have a strengthened relationship through mutual hate for North Korea, which you kind of can't really blame either country for not being happy with North Korea. They're launching missiles at Japan, and they've terrorized South Korea for who knows how long. What a miserable country. I don't hate North Koreans, of course, but like, not a fan of the North Korean government. It's kind of like China too. Like Chinese people are awesome. They're like nice, amazing food, amazing people, a beautiful cultural history, just so much incredible art. But I'm not a fan of the CCP. I don't like CCP. I feel like it's really fascist towards their own people, and I feel really bad for Chinese people that they got to live under the CCP. All right, sorry, I got to kind of catch up with what everybody's saying. I think I can probably sit down now. I was starting to fall asleep there earlier, though. Ugh. I don't know. It's really interesting. I got to go back through and PepGuard. Just so you know, PepGuard, every time you're writing a question, I'm like literally, I'm writing it down right here. Like I literally have my notepad open to write down every question you drop in because they're always bangers, man. Okay, sorry. Let me get back in here. Let me check out more what we're doing. I would never be like, I'm not Latino, I'm Latinx. All right. Yeah, that does, even not fully understanding. Like, but what I don't understand though is like, why would it be like your heritage is so like if you say Latino, is that that's saying definitely I'm a male Hispanic and Latina is a female Hispanic. So I mean, so I guess in English we just don't really have an equivalent. Like there's no female version of American. So I guess that's just why I'm trying to. Okay. Sorry, I blew this up big just for a second. I'll shrink it back down. It's kind of interesting though. People being offended on others' behalf. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that in modern media recently. Latino is also for non-binary Latinos. That's what I meant. Wait, so if there's already a word, then why do they need to make Latinx? Latinx is considered an insult because it's from people who are trying to police. Okay. Oh, you bet. That's what it means. Okay. All right, then can you guys please explain how is cap? Like, what does cap mean? Lie and not lie. Capitulate. What is it? What's another? Is there like a shortened version of a word that means lying in cap? Like, I don't. I'm so confused by that one. Itadakimasu. One of the kids in my class like heard that word and would like every time he'd walk into my class. This is here in America. He'd say like itadakimasu, and I'd be like, "Are you about to eat something?" And he'd be like, "No, why?" And I'd be like, "That's all you would ever say that for. Like, you don't. It doesn't make any sense to keep walking into my classroom and use it like you're saying hello." And he was like, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're only gonna say that to eat." His pronunciation was pretty good though, so good on him. What is slur? Okay, we said this. What slurs do? Okay, actually, you know what? Dang, Pepguard. I didn't write that one down. Racist things Japanese say and do to other Asians. Okay, thank you, Pep. Always with the questions, man. Thanks for saying America is confusing. I was thinking the same. I feel like sometimes recently people overcomplicate things that don't need to be overcomplicated. Like, I respect you no matter what your gender, your orientation, your religion, creed, code, race, heritage, tradition, culture. I respect it no matter what. I mean, you know, I don't think we need to branch out into more labels for like subsets of subsets. I don't know. Like it's, I don't know. I'm just always kind of confused by, I don't know. I'm just confused. Sometimes the whole non-binary thing does kind of confuse me. Like I'm totally okay with, people say they're non-binary and stuff like that. But I remember there was like times where, especially on my Inksmith channel, so I had like a lot of extreme liberals watch that channel. And I forget who it was I was doing a video on. And they're like, you didn't say they, you said she. And they're like really angry at me that I didn't use a non-binary term. And I ran into a part where I was like, I had to say like the mom and her daughter, but I was like, okay, but she's not a daughter, and she's not a child, so I wouldn't say her child because it's an adult. So would I say like their offspring to be non-binary? Like I remember I ran into eventually a point where I was just like, how do I clarify that they're non-binary offspring? That is the mom's. She's not her. She's not a mom's daughter anymore. She's mom's offspring. Like that's because like saying like child felt like it was too demeaning with the situation I was talking about. So I don't want to say like that's her child. No, she's like a 34-year-old grown female. I mean, sorry, no, you're not supposed to say that. See, like you run into a big problem. People would say things like, that person's NB, right? And I was like, what is NB? And they'd be like, non-binary. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know NB was a word. I didn't know that was like a short term. I mean, it makes sense. It's just an abbreviation, but oh man, I was struggling sometimes. Killer Demo, man, I remember that avatar right there, dude. You've been with the channel for a long time. Do you have to take an iron supplement daily? I did for a while after I was recovering from the polyp in my intestines. I had to take iron recovery. There's some other stuff I had to take. Like I had to up my sodium too. I think probably I've always had to up my sodium. Sometimes I'd have like too low blood pressure. Even when I was like younger, I used to get what's called vasovagal syncope. So I could faint really easy if like My iron or my blood was too low. Not my blood. My blood pressure was too low. Yo, 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 yo. What slurs do Japanese use against other? Okay, no, I did that one. Why am I reading the same stuff over and over? It's been a while. I have to catch up one day. Yeah, just chilling in Australia. I saw you moved from Osaka back to Florida. Was wondering, what do you think of the Japanese horror movie Cure? Oh, wait. I think, hold on. Is that the movie, Kaisen? If it's the one I'm thinking about, I really like it. Japanese horror movie Cure. Cure is part atmospheric crime film and part philosophical. 2001. Is this where they're? Oh, is this Nightmare Detective? No. It's just Cure. Oh no, wait. It came out in 1997. Dude, this looks super familiar. I'm pretty sure. I feel like I watched this with my wife one time. You know what, dude? Hold on. Japanese horror movie Cure. You got to pay for it. Dang it. Sometimes some of these older movies, like, they'll just have them on here for free. God, he was really young in this one. Yeah, it's 1997. That's why. This guy's like super old now. Dude, I feel like I saw this movie, but I don't remember. I gotta watch it now, dude. I'll tell you what, man. Thank you for the suggestion. I think my wife was watching this one time and I like caught like the end of it or something like that. All right, Cure, horror movie. Okay, thank you, dude. Recommendations. No, I haven't done it yet. What I worry about with my son, I want to protect and correct him. That's what I worry about with. Oh, wait. I must have missed something here. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up with everybody. Um, uh, okay, here we are. Yeah, in China, they teach kids to want to delete Japanese people. I would say for the most part, like, the truth be told, like, um, Chinese people and Japanese people, they don't wish death on each other or anything like that. I mean, my God, the Chinese come over to buy like a ton of stuff from Japan all the time. There'd be like, especially around you get to summer, there'd be so many Chinese people in Tennoji, and like it was because they just like really enjoy Japanese products. They would literally bring like bunches of empty suitcases, and if you're wondering like how I know all this, I would literally see it happen out in front of my house. Because I lived in like a major shopping district in downtown Osaka slash Tennoji, which is pretty much like downtown. And it would show up next to the Loft. The Loft is the name of a store that sells like a lot of Japanese products. Is kind of like I would say it's kind of like Target. That's what the Loft is like. It's kind of like Target in Japan. And the Chinese would show up there and they'd have like 2 empty suitcases and then just like buy as much as they could from Loft. And Loft makes pretty good stuff. Like, I mean, yeah, as good as Target pretty much. Like, it's just kind of like what, like medium to medium high level quality stuff. And they would just pack those suitcases full. I heard one of the most kind of, I don't know if I would call it disturbing, but kind of sadder things I heard about is that there was one brand of diapers that they would come to Japan to buy, and the brand was actually made in China, but they would only sell the best quality version of it in Japan. and they would sell a worse quality version of the same diaper in China. So they wouldn't buy the same one in China. They would always have to come over to Japan to buy exactly what they were trying to buy in China, which sounds like horrible. Like, this is why I don't like CCP. Okay, let me catch up with everything else. That's what I worry about with my son. I want to be there to protect and correct him. Yeah, I mean, I always make sure my son understands stuff like that. He's learning all these. Like, he's actually kind of shocked because like Japan doesn't really have like a bunch of racist words for like every different race. So he was kind of shocked when he heard racist words for the first time in America, because he couldn't believe like the English language had this many different racist words for people from all around the world. And so he was like, what? Like, he heard the N-word one day for the first time in middle school, and he was like, why is this word so bad? So I explained it to him, like how it would be like something you'd never want to say. And then he was like, what about other races? Like, do they have words like this? And I'm like, probably none nearly as bad as that word. But yes, they do have all their own racist slang and everything. And then I went through like an etymological lesson of like why they say these certain things about certain races. So for example, I'm of German ethnicity and kraut, right? I can say the word because I'm the German American, I guess. So I explained to him like how kraut is related to sauerkraut, and like they would use this as like a lot of times there is actually like a lot of words that connect to food that the person would eat and then be used as a racist quip at the same time. It was an interesting conversation, but kind of a sad one too, when you start to realize how many different racist words the English language has to label and quantify every race around the world. It's really kind of sad to be like, yeah, there's one for that one too. Yep. There's a word for that race too. Yeah, there's one for that one too. And I'm just like, oh my God. I think the other one that kind of like my son made a lot of sense with this one, but he said like, why can't I like a rainbow just for being like a rainbow? Because I think like rainbows are like pretty and they're like nice to look at. Like, why does it always have to be connected to anything being gay? He said like I tried to color and draw a rainbow in my class today, and kids were like gay and stuff like that. And he's like, why? Like, can't it just be a rainbow? And I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, dude. Like, that's one of the things. Like, because in Japan, there's no such thing. Like, I mean, there is obviously like, LGBTQ plus communities and stuff like that, especially in Tokyo and Osaka. But for the most part, Japan, even though it is conservative, it's like a kind of conservative country. They don't really, even conservative Japanese don't really care too much about like, if it doesn't bother them, they don't care. Like, if it doesn't like affect their life in any way, they don't really seem to care too much. Or if they do, they'll shut up and not say anything when it comes to like, LGBTQ plus stuff. They're just kind of like, oh, that person's gay. Okay, like whatever. Anyway, like I got to go to work. I'm a salary man. Like, they don't care. Like, if it doesn't like somehow stop or affect or enter into their private life or affect their like quality of living or anything, they're just kind of like, why would I care if that person's gay? Like, it does. So like for them, it's kind of very hands off. They're just kind of like, okay, yeah, that can exist. I don't really care. Like, it doesn't really bother them for the most part. Now, if you were to question a like very old school conservative Japanese man's sexuality by saying that, he might get very upset, because again, there is like a lot of conservatives in Japan, and when I'm saying like very traditional old school conservatives, which look, I'm not hating on conservatives or anything like that, but I think it does really proceed a lot with the culture in Japan of like having a lot of traditional ways of life that are still seen as very conservative, even to Americans like us. For example, like the whole having a housewife and everything like that. I mean, that's still very common in Japan. There's some women who are just going to be housewives, and there's most of them are that become housewives are usually pretty happy to do that. And the craziest thing though is you've got salaryman, right? That's kind of a Japanese made up word, right? It's borrowed word, but it's borrowed in the sense of like salary and man, but really it's Japanese English for the most part. We don't say salary man in America. So that's like a word they made up when they heard the word salary and they heard the word man. They're like, oh, salaryman. But if a woman like becomes like a full-time worker and everything and makes like full-time 40-hour or like salary to work, you would think like, oh, well then what do they call her in Japan? A salary woman? No, she's called career woman. So, and that's considered like, whoa, she's not a stay-at-home mom, she's career woman? That's crazy. That's wild. Okay, I think I'm more awake now that I've had some hot cup noodles and fish sticks. Sounds yummy. Hey, no name, welcome. Sorry, I'm still just catching up to everything. I'm kind of moving slow today. When I was younger, I used to say no lie, but now I'm just old and can't keep up with these kids, no cap, LO. Yeah. Like 2 months ago, hiding in my room was complaining about the thin walls of the apartment where he was staying. Do you have stories about loud neighbors and thin walls? Loud neighbors and thin walls. I do want to kind of caution anyone, like in like probably Pepgard. I'm not saying this to you. You probably already know, but like some of hiding in my room's complaints about Japan are kind of either incredibly exaggerated or like self-afflicted, if that makes sense. Just so you know, like take everything he says about Japan with a grain of salt. Like he's become very jaded and bitter as I've seen his videos proceed, and some of the stuff he says about Japan or Japanese women or just like Japanese people in general, I'm just kind of like, that's like the most negative possible take you could create. Like, I mean, negative to a point that even like Ryan Boundless would be like, whoa, dude, that's not true. Don't say that. Like he's said stuff about Japan and stuff before where I'm just like, dude, come on. Like, especially about Japanese women. I'm just kind of like, look, if you dated someone who like really pissed you off, don't judge all Japanese women by that one woman that you married or dated or whatever. Please, man, that's messed up. I've never said that to him, but I used to really like his channel. I used to think like, wow, this guy's like a really up and coming J vlogger who's really got a new spin. I like his sort of very brutal honesty and like, mask off sort of way of confronting his life here now in Japan. And he had videos that were about like how to save this much money in Japan and how to live cheap in Japan. And I thought like these are great. And then somehow his channel got twisted into this like hateful sort of vindictive, bitter version of himself post marriage and everything, where I was just like, what the heck happened? Anyway. And then thin walls. I've never really Japanese people in general, like first of all, usually there is like pretty thick well, maybe it's just the apartment complex I live in. We never really dealt with like a ton of noise from our neighbors. Did we ever really deal with any noise from our neighbor? The only time I ever had anything was one time our neighbor got like mad at his son, but he's like a really chill guy, like for the most part, our neighbor. But his son must have done something that really pissed him off because I think he was like trying to sneak out or something one time. And so he just like put him outside of his house and was just like, all right, you want to try and sneak out? Sneak out, stay outside, don't come back in, and shut the door. And then his son was like banging on the door and crying and stuff. And he was like, no, you wanted to sneak out. So sneak out, go have a blast, do whatever you want. Like, And that guy's like, he never gets angry. So I think his son did something really that like super pissed him off, because that guy's like a super quiet, sort of very introverted, like, don't bother anyone around. So he must have really done something to piss off his dad to do something like that. And that's the only time I ever um, heard anything from a next door neighbor. Um, I mean, for the most part, I will say, like, the wife of the guy who lives next door to us in Japan, she's got like a real attitude problem. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab some protein bars, and then I got kind of a story of that. Almost back. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Thanks for waiting, guys. All right. Uh, dude, speaking of Maki, the reason it took me a little bit of while, I just went to go get I went to go get some protein bars, and he went to his room a while ago, and like usually he's in and out for most of the night. So I just went to check on him, make sure he was okay and everything. He fell asleep with a lollipop in his mouth. Kind of dangerous, right? So I pulled the lollipop out of his mouth, and he's conked out, man. He's super tired. We both stayed up way too late last night. He was playing video games, and I was actually working on the YouTube room. I'm trying to finish up Osoroshi Nights, the newest episode. And to do so, I've been kind of like setting up the room in a way that like it looks like good enough that I don't have to do a green screen effect every time. It can just be like a permanent backdrop and everything. So I got pretty far along. It still needs some sprucing up though. Oh, and I put up the Christmas tree today, which is probably like way too early, but I don't know when I'll have enough time before the holidays get here. And my parents just gave me their old Christmas tree, so I kind of wanted to see how it was and everything. All right, let me catch up. It was a 1997 one. Okay, I need to watch that movie Cure. I was thinking of the movie Kaisen, which is like that doesn't mean cure. That's like infection. I highly recommend. I highly recommend. It's called Kaisen. It's like means infection. It's about these people, these interns in a poorly funded hospital, like kind of going crazy. It's very interesting. A black eye happened. What do you mean? What? What did I miss here? Someone 2 months ago. Oh yeah. I'm okay with they, them, he, him, man. Some 9F, the language used trips me up too. Some 9F? What is 9F? And like too, if people are non-binary, I'm totally okay with that. And I respect saying like they, them, but there was like times where I had to refer to someone. I forget what I was reading and stuff, and I reached a point where I was like, what do you say for this? To make them the subject of this sentence with still trying to keep it non-binary. So I don't know. It's totally fine. I don't care. I mean, that's the last time I get takeout from the ghetto. Uh-oh, what happened? I hope you're okay, Ikram. Except the black eye happened. Wait, did I miss something? No, maybe not. Okay. I was still passed over by the cops until I put 3 on their butts. 3 what? Kai, we're putting the country together. I believe that Flower Tower. Welcome to the stream, Flower Tower. I think hello, Polly Skull's back too. This is awesome. Definitely not CC. Dude, I haven't seen you around in a while, man. Welcome back. All right. We got some returnees. That's nice, man. Sorry if you see me looking over this way. Actually, you know what I should do? I've got 3 different monitors hooked up here. Hold on. Actually, let me just bring it up on here. What am I doing? Bring up chat on my phone. The problem I run into is like when you capture chat and you put it into here, I'll show you what I mean. I blow it up big enough on one to be able to read everything, but you kind of have to keep it like shrunk here so it shows up on OBS properly. I'm just going to go to my channel. There we go. Okay. I'm going to eat too. My favorite part of the day, the only time I eat at the very end of the day. That's why you'll always see me eating on stream. Streaming and eating, 2 of my most favorite things to do at the end of the day. If I didn't have like a super hour intensive daily job, and if I could do this full time, if I could stream full time, oh my God, I would definitely do this. Well, okay. Oh, you just got back from your Tokyo trip. Oh, awesome, dude. It was a blast. What would you say the highlight was, Susie? What would you say the highlight was? What's the last time a song has touched you, Scott? Oh, last one was it's called Car Crash by Sad Alex. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Give me a second. I'll make sure I have the whole song name. Sad Alex. Or I think the full thing is I Am Sad Alex. Yeah, there we go. I Am Sad Alex. Jekyll and Hyde, a song about surviving a car crash by I'm Sad Alex. I don't know, this song just really hits. Like really like I'm really happily married now for the last 2008, so about 15 years now. I had to think about it. But I went through some I think you have a bunch of bad relationships so you can find out what a good relationship is. And I had one that was like super kind of like abusive and stuff like this. And when I heard this song, Jekyll and Hyde, a song about surviving a car crash with my ex, this song kind of really hit. It really made me like reflect on like how good I have it now, because I've had it really bad before with a relationship where it's just kind of like, oh my God, like why did I put up with that? Like why? I'm probably because I was just a dumb kid. Like I was a young 20-year-old something. A really good song. Okay. That was a good question. I like that question. The last time a song like really affected you emotionally. All right, hold on. Let me catch up. What? Uh-oh. Okay. Touched from Vast. Okay, I'll have to check that out. What? Were you talking about this I'll Destroy Your Dreams about Japan YouTuber? Are you talking about Ryan Boundless, Dream Crusher? He did a series for a while where he kind of just like did I guess sometimes overly exaggerated myth busting about Japan. I've talked about this before, where Ryan is not afraid to tackle some of the more negative aspects of Japan, although at times he tends to exaggerate, and it was mostly due to the fact that he was going through like a really hard time. He was like recovering from a pretty brutal divorce, and in Japan, and like angry at every Japanese woman ever, and Hutch from Vast. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'll take a picture. All right, that way I'll be able to find it later. My neighbors have been gone since yesterday morning. I hope they're okay. Don't be a dick. Wait, what happened? What did somebody say? What's Ubder 8? I don't know what that means. Obdurate. Obdurate. I don't know what that means. All right, anyway, let me continue. Oh, okay, Kai, bye. Sorry, I didn't notice you just left, so have a good one, dude. Have you watched the show Agretsuko? Yeah. I've watched that. Actually, it was pretty popular in Japan. My wife watched it a lot. I stayed up pretty late too, up until shortly after your stream ended and before the reconnected one. Yeah, I was up to almost 4 a.m. last night. I don't know what my problem was. I was just like really excited about redecorating the YouTube room, which I wasn't really redecorating. I didn't buy anything new to decorate it with. I just was moving everything around, if you know what I mean. Some of the language and the terms I need more education on. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. So Meadow, that's what I tried to use was child before, where you said the non-binary term for daughter or son is child. I think I made a video on my Inksmith channel about when, what was that? What was her name? God, how can I not remember this now? She's went through so much drama. The art drama thing with like the one girl was stalking the other girl. What was her name? Dang it. How can I not remember this? This went on for like ages. Hold on, I'll just check my own channel. Videos. Creepshow Art. That's who I was talking about. So Creepshow Art, she considers herself non-binary. Sorry, I'm saying she considers herself non-binary. Sorry. They consider themselves non-binary. Okay, so I did one video on them about them and said that I used the word child. That's how I tried to refer to her when I was talking about something they did. They were upset with their mom. And someone in the comments was like, don't call her a child. Like, she's not a child anymore. So I said to the person, I said, so then what do you call like a non-binary offspring who's an adult? And like, they could never answer the question. They're like, I don't know, but don't call them a child. And I was just like, so should I just say like offspring or spawn or like brood or like, like, I was like, what other word is there to use? Like, if there's something that people are commonly using, tell me. Like, and I never really got a good answer. So I remember that was one point where I was like, okay, if you don't use the word child, then what do you use to say the something of a non-binary person of a, I don't know. That person was just being difficult, so whatever. But it felt like it was a sort of vocabulary trap or something like that. I don't know how else to explain it. Oh, Sleep Token. I listen to Sleep Token. They're good. Oh, you're one of the people from Kaizen's? I didn't, honestly, Low Poly Scott, like I remember your name and I remember your icon and, oh man. Well, those are some good times from playing on Kaizen's board. My son still plays on there sometimes. I just don't, these days, Minecraft is still super fun. I just don't have the time to invest in it anymore. Oh, good hunter. Okay. I hope you have a fast and healthy recovery, good hunter. I hope it all went well with your surgery. Yeah, our streams are always very, very chilled out. Even if, I mean, we never have drama. Everyone here is friends, so I love that. I mean, that's the most rewarding part of streaming and stuff. Is now I just have a bunch of friends, not just viewers, but friends, and everything almost always stays super calm. Have we ever gotten like overly excited about, not even in like a super ultra positive excited way or a super negative excited way? We've never really had any kind of big mix up or anything like that. Maybe our most intense moments as friends here is playing horror games. and us getting scared together. That's about it. That's kind of just fun anyway. Once in a while, we've had like people pop in who try to like um, be a rabble rouser. I don't know but that doesn't really work too well on my channel because we usually just like if someone comes in and tries to be a rabble rouser, we'll just kind of ask them like, so what's up? Why are you getting like this? What's your point? Do you have like a motivation? Like I want to sometimes hear like why a person's like so worked up and stuff like that. I was just away to have dinner with my family. I didn't see if you said that you spoke Kansai dialect or. That's a good question. I actually speak like a patchwork of the Kanto and Kansai dialect. Uh, the reason I ended up speaking kind of a patchwork, and let me tell you, when I speak in Kansai Ben, like Japanese definitely give me like what the heck? Why is this white dude speaking Kansai Ben? Because you got to remember that would be like a Japanese person comes to America and they they go from like not speaking much English or not speaking great English to suddenly having a New York accent and just be like, why are you speaking with a New York accent? Like a thick New York accent. So pretty much whatever dialect I learned the word in first, that tends to get trapped in my brain. So, for example, instead of saying wakarimasen, like I don't understand, I usually used the Osaka Ben version of wakarahen. Whereas I still do say mostly arigato for thank you and stuff, but obviously they say okini a lot or mairo. I usually say majide instead of like mecha or hantoni. So that's like the way to say like really. So like for example, you remember Tikio Sam and I used to do a show together. It was called Maji Yabai Yatsura. That's like two very crazy guys is kind of how that translates. Maji is really a Kansai Ben. And I learned Maji first before I learned Mecha or Hantoni, which is also like very. So I always switch over. So there's like a lot of words where I do switch over to Kansai Ben, and then yeah, when Japanese people do hear me speaking Kansai Ben, especially like an old person, if an old person meets a white guy with tattoos speaking in Kansai Ben, they're like, why? How? So that's kind of funny. Usually if it's an old person, they're like, how did you even learn that? Like, why do you know Kansai Ben? I'm just like, I've just lived in Kansai the whole time. My knowledge of Japan for some reason boils down to Japanese comedy, primarily Gaki no Tsukai, Downtown, and the likes. Downtown's good, man. Those guys are still doing comedy. I think though the one guy he got out of, I think he finally retired. Not Matsuda, but his other friend. He finally retired, I think, from it. Matsuda though, he's still doing a ton of stuff, man. Talking about marriage, what would you consider red flags that most people would not consider dangerous in Japan but are? I wouldn't say it's necessarily a red flag, but the two biggest things I see gaijin to Japanese marriages like mega fail is number one, they never discuss what their roles are going to be in the marriage. I've seen this happen so many times where let's go by an American guy's perspective because I'm an American guy. A lot of American guys, if they come to Japan without doing a ton of research or only date a few times and then choose a girl to marry, they find out like they find out that though sometimes, not always, but sometimes the wife wants to be a stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home mom after they have kids. And sometimes they're like super shocked by that. They're like, wait, I thought we were gonna like raise a kid together. And the wife's like, yeah, we're going to raise the kids together. And like, I'm going to take the kid to like, you know, piano practice, kindergarten, after school class, JUCO. And you're going to bring home the money and I'm going to be in charge of the money and I'll buy like the groceries and cook and everything. And you're going to work like, you know, 8 to 12 hours a day. And I'll do all the hardcore housework and stuff like cleaning, laundry, picking up the kid, dropping off the kid. Like it's like kind of its own full-time job being a housewife in Japan. And when they find that out, they're like super pissed off. And they're like, what are you talking about? Why am I only earning money? Why aren't you earning money? Like, why am I the only one contributing? And it's like, well, taking a step out of it as an outside observer, number one, I know how many things housewives do because I've dealt with a lot of housewives, having taught many Japanese kids. And they're sometimes pretty ultra busy. Like it's almost like its own full-time job. Yeah, it doesn't earn any money. Okay, of course. Now, taking a step out of it and looking at it on the gaijin side, brother, if you are working as the main breadwinner in Japan, oftentimes you are not working nearly as much as some of these salarymen do. A lot of us still tend to only have to work 8 hours because a lot of Japanese employers understand that, hey, if I hire a gaijin to do this job, it's very rare that they would accept working a full 12 hours a day because they are very used to 8 hours. So usually we are able to get away with only working 8 hours a day, a normal work day. Now, you also need to realize you're probably not going to earn as much money as a Japanese person would doing whatever job it is you're doing. And often your qualifications and the jobs you can get your foot in the door at are almost always very limited to either number one, English, teaching English in some way, like some grade level, some school, some after school, some Mikaiwa, something. And if it is a job that is outside of that, either number one, you've learned how to speak perfect Japanese. Well, not perfect, but business level. Let's put it that way. And or you have some kind of super ultra rare specification or skill set that Japan is so desperate for that they can make a huge excuse to give you a visa to stay here because no one in Japan really knows how to do that job that you do. That's like a super rare situation. The other time where I've seen it really fail, and I guess most of these, sorry, this sucks, but I'm kind of looking at it from the male gaze, from the male perspective and everything like that. The other marriages I've seen really fail hardcore are a guy who never dated much or didn't date really at all in America. I'm saying again America because that's where I'm used to before coming to Japan. And like, let's say like they either didn't date or they were like so introverted that they never ever were brave enough to ask a girl out, or they always had trouble talking to women, or maybe they only dated one girl their whole life and then they just didn't work out and they come to Japan and oftentimes you're seen as like a bit of an exotic, sort of interesting, alluring beauty just because you tend to be an exotic, foreigner. And there's some girls out there, like I've said, and this is reversed too. There's also guys who do this, Japanese guys. They're gaijin hunters. And, for the first time in their life, this guy meets a girl who, by whatever his standards are, and I'm not trying to like dig my own grave here by saying this, but, the girl is beautiful, like really like the most beautiful girl they've ever met. She's slim, skinny, wearing great makeup, dressed to the nines. This is the first time they've ever had a girl who, all dressed up like this, all looking great like this, like going out there on the town, giving them this kind of attention. And they're like so new to dating, still so fresh to dating, that they like marry the first girl that they're like, oh my God, this girl's in love with me. I can't believe I've got a girl this beautiful and this amazing looking and this cute and she's got a cute laugh and, she's beautiful in a great dress and great makeup every day. And she's wearing even heels to my date, even though I'm taking her on a hike to Mount Fuji. And I gotta marry this girl. This is a once in a lifetime for me because I'm just not great with ladies. And then they marry and find out like I shouldn't have gotten hitched just for a great piece of ass, pretty much. And sorry to be so crude. Sorry to be so disgusting with my language. I do not just look at people like they're a piece of meat, but I can't tell you how many guys I've seen come out to Japan and just go hog wild with the first girl that they ever meet. There's like, this is the best it's gonna get. I gotta marry this one. And then they finally realize like it's just not a good match at all. The girl, once she gets married, goes into a very traditional Japanese role, like just locks herself into that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the traditional Japanese female role in a marriage. I'm not criticizing this, but when the guy figures out like, oh, this is a girl who's just going to stay at home and like I have to do everything, and it's not really that situation. Again, housewives do a lot of work, but they're like, what the hell? Like, why am I got to do everything. I got to pay for everything. This is all I get to do now. I work 24/7 to pay for a house and for a wife that I never even freaking see. Like, what the hell is this? And it goes horribly wrong. And it was like all because they just never communicated, never gave dating an actual chance, never gave the setup time to culminate in marriage. And the girl, whoever they married, that girl was like, I've talked about this before, Christmas cake, where if a girl gets past 25 years old in Japan, sometimes people in her family or like her friends, or they start to call them Christmas cake because Christmas cake is something that comes to your doorstep looking magnificently delicious and beautiful and well done, and you're not a big fan of Christmas cake, but you don't want to throw it away because this cake is so nice and they delivered it to you and they really thought about you, so you keep it wrapped up, you put it in the closet at the pantry, and every once in a while you see it and you're like, oh, that Christmas cake, I never ate it. And you're like, yeah, but it's so beautiful and looks so delicious. And, and now it's getting like 1 year old. And you're like, I don't know, fruitcake, is it still okay to eat 1 year? Well, it's still so pristine and looks so great. And Aunt, Aunt, uh, Aunt Tanimura gave it to me. And Tanimura Baba wa hanto ni yasashii. She's so nice. And I can't believe, she gave me that. I can't just throw away Tanimura's cake. And the cake just sits there and sits there and sits there. And, slowly, little by little, it does start to, look worse and worse. But it never does get thrown away and it never does get eaten because it was a Christmas cake. And it's been here since Christmas 2020. And now it's Christmas 2025. And you still feel bad that you never opened it up and ate it. But you also don't want to throw it away. So it just lingers forever uneaten. And so that's like the idea of Christmas cake. You're a girl who like goes past their prime, and because you didn't get married when you were 25, you have now become Christmas cake, and you will forever sit on the shelf rotting away. And okay, look, I didn't make up the term Christmas cake. That is a totally Japanese, like Christmas cake. All right, Christmas cake no kanojo. All right, the girl who has lingered as Christmas cake. They want to like rush past this age of 25 point, so that they're locked down into a marriage. They can start a family, and none of their friends or family will look at them and be like, you're Christmas cake now. And they make that mistake. The Japanese person makes that mistake. And the Gaijin person makes the mistake of like, oh my God, I met the most beautiful girl I've ever going to meet in my entire life. I need to marry her right now. And that's a mistake too. So that's the marriages I've seen really fail hardcore. Like, all the wheels come off and it's just, oy, oy, oy. So, and like, sorry, I'm just like, it sounds very crude the way I'm explaining these, but I'm just trying to be as blunt and down to earth as possible. I don't really want to pull any punches. Okay. I hope that answered the question, Pepcar. I went kind of hard on that one, huh? All right. Omnia is a non-binary and they go by they, them pronouns. Yeah, I've talked about Omnia before. I did a whole coverage on their breakup with that guy that they were dating, where he was like became like abusive and everything like that, and his he kept deleting his own channel and then uploading it again. Omnia's okay. I don't think they like my channel very much, my Inksmith channel. I don't think they were a big fan of it. I think I was seen as like kind of annoying in that whole cliquish art person, I don't know, subgenre of commentary. Are you faded? No, I have opacity turned down to 0. What's this name? Sing Song Shows Super Sick Super Show. Are you faded? Hold on, let me check. No, opacity is at 0 for my OBS. Oh, you were talking about Creepshow Art's sibling. Yeah, there was like a whole thing. Holy shit, he lives. What made you stream tonight? What do you mean, Eric? I said I was going to stream tonight. It's Veterans Day, so I don't have work. I thought I told you last night that I was going to stream. Yeah, Minecraft is fun, but it's gotten stale. Yeah, I don't know. Like with Minecraft, it was like I had fun building, I had fun exploring, and then like I used to get really excited about updates for Minecraft, but then it was like after Mojang just became like the team it is now, I feel like you wait like it's like, all right, the new release is coming out soon. It's only going to take us 1 whole year to make this, and it is a slightly different colored jellyfish. Are you guys not astounded by that? It's slightly different. Oh, okay. And also we've got 3 new blocks. And you're like, oh, this is like not red sand or yellow sand. This is brown sand. And they're like, that's right, brown sand. Oh, okay, cool. The Penguin is a masterpiece, a center point on how to actually write a villain. I've heard good things about Penguin, yeah. The whole latex suit and everything he wears, or whatever they call that material they use to make his mask and everything, it looks amazing. Food was so good everywhere I went. Yeah, food in Japan is really damn good. I really appreciate the public transportation. Yeah, public transportation is really good in Japan too. And how efficient everything is. Explored a bit and would try to get away from the main streets. That's good. That's what it is. Sorry, Meadow. It was her sister. And there was something I said where I was talking about a comment, like her sister had made a comment on the whole, who's the girl she was stalking? Emily, isn't that right? And I said the mother's child made this comment about Creepshow, and someone was like, they are not a child anymore. You should treat them as an adult and, state that they are. And I was like, okay, so then if I don't call them a child, what do I call them as the offspring, the non-binary offspring adult of their mom? Like, what do I call them then? That's where I was like, are they called spawn? Are they called brood? Are they called hatchling? Like what, like what do you call, if I'm not allowed to use the word child? Anyway. You'd walk into smaller bars and restaurants. I did some touristy stuff like Disney, but I tried to have an immersed experience. I went to the Meiji Shrine, Akihabara, and all over Shibuya, Nippori, and Koto. Oh, nice, man. That's awesome. Shinjuku's wild, huh? Does Shinjuku still have those signs that say no smoking? Did you notice that when you were in Shinjuku? Like all the no smoking signs say no smoking? It always used to crack me up. Do you tell people your pronouns? No, I don't really do that, John. Obviously I'm he, him. Um, I leave it up to the other people to allow me to know. Like, you can tell me if there's like, if I, use the wrong pronoun, you can be like, actually, I use this, and I'll be more than happy to respect it. But I will say for the most part, like, I just assume like he and she until I'm told otherwise, which is fine too if I'm told otherwise. I don't mind. Like, you know, I work a lot in the LGBTQ plus community where I work now, and there's a lot of, and like, I'm cool with everybody. I don't see a difference really between straight and LGBTQ plus. I don't see a difference at all. We're just like all the same, you know, the same things that annoy me annoy a gay person too. I actually don't try to draw any attention to any of that or like ask anything about it because it's just like no one asked me about my straight life. Like, why would I bother with caring about anybody's gay life or anything like that? I guess pronoun is a thing where you do have to like, it's got to be brought to your attention that they're like, actually, I'm non-binary, or actually, I identify as a female. Like, they'd have to tell me, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, my bad. And then I have to do 25 push-ups for a barb because I'm part of the Veil Guard. No, I'm just joking, guys. Um, I will say that 7-year-old me was freaking the F out while standing in front of the Gundam. Oh, the Gundam. Isn't that Gundam sick, dude? Did they have it set up so it can move and stuff? I know sometimes when they set that Gundam up, sometimes they set it up to be able to move. It really depends on the area it's in. It doesn't like move like, massively, but it just like sometimes they have it set up where like little small parts of the body can move and stuff like that. Scott and gang, their new movie out called Heretic. It's really good and basically explores the whole concept of religion from the lenses a lot of us see it through. Heretic. Hold on. Whoa. Oh, I watched the trailer of this. That did look very interesting. How like he invites them into his house and he's got this whole like crazy stage set up to like force them to kind of really question their own religion and stuff like that. I get it. I understand. I actually used to get people like that in my neighborhood. In my house that I lived in during high school in Florida, there was people who would come to my door and be like, "Have you heard about the great news of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm in Catholic school, so I know all about it. Bye," and I just close the door. I remember one time somebody was trying to bother me because causing me that the first thing that what? Hold on, Massam, what is this sentence? I remember one time somebody was trying to bother me, causing me that the first thing that I asked to reply is asking if their home life was okay. Hold on, did you rewrite that one? Oh, busted phone. Okay, I was like, did Massam have a stroke while typing this one? Okay. Busted my phone. Long story short, person was bothering me, but in the end, I had them open up to me about home life stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, Massam, I think like what you're trying to say is sometimes like if people are like overly aggressive or offensive, or sometimes that there's a chance that they are a person who is hurt, like hurt some way emotionally, and hurt people tend to hurt people. That's one thing I always try to remind myself. And I'm not saying like damaged people, don't mess with them. They're damaged, all right? Like I'm just saying like a lot of times if somebody says something, and I've really noticed this in customer service, the rudest customers that you'll meet, the people who are the most aggressive or like want to ruin your day as a working in customer service, there's often something going on in their life making them act that way. And while we don't need to just take it and be abused mentally or emotionally, we should also keep in mind that the fact that someone would act that cruel or really pick at you and try to make your life miserable is because oftentimes their life is miserable. Hence, hurt people hurt people. Uh-oh, I went down too far. Hamada retired? I don't know about Hamada, but Matsuda retired. Oh, no, sorry. Matsuda's still going. He's still like going strong. Nuno Matsumoto retired. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Matsumoto retired. Yeah, sorry. I was getting everybody mixed up. You said Hamada. I said Matsuda, who's like from, he's not from downtown, but they used to have one called Red Live Theater, and Matsuda was part of that team. Okay, sorry. I'm getting everybody mixed up as far as Japanese comedians are concerned. No more bokeh. Hope he keeps making movie. Bokeh is kind of a strong word. Be careful with using that, just so you know, okay? Like, it's okay. We can say it amongst each other here, but it's pretty much like calling someone retarded. Like, and I feel like these days saying that, on a stream or saying that live or saying that to a person as an insult and stuff is kind of frowned upon these days. So if you say something like, "Oi, oi, I didn't know bokeh," like kind of too strong. I'm not a fan of fruitcake. It has better use as firewood. Oh, my mom makes really good fruitcake. Zoopnai. Hey, what's up? Last I checked, Omnia's ex is also non-binary. Oh, all right. It's so hard to keep up with. During that Gaijin dating story, yeah, I mean, Tim, I think we all went through some embarrassing younger dating days. Definitely the way I treated my girlfriends when I was younger, Scott, was not good. I wasn't like abusive or anything like that, but I definitely wasn't like emotionally aware of like, you know, um, understanding or listening, um, or seeing a female perspective on why something would bother them that I do, or um, I was definitely the idiot where like if the girlfriend was mad at me and wasn't talking, and I was like, "Hey, you're not talking much. Is anything wrong?" And they'd be like, "No." And I'd be like, "Oh, great. Okay, glad nothing's wrong." Like I was that guy, definitely. I wasn't like emotionally intelligent enough to realize like, okay, you can't just be like, "Yo, you okay? You're okay? All right, cool, peace." Like you have to be like, "Hey, no, seriously, let's talk. Like what's going on?" But to also be fair to women too in their younger dating days, like doing the whole like nothing's wrong. Like, oh my God, just be mature and talk about what's bothering you. Yeah, or just be blunt with me. Um, both of us were being stupid and immature. All right. My net messed up last night. I didn't get to watch the last of the stream last night. Oh, don't worry. I was playing that game and it was really good until it like turned into like one of these like chase and hide games. I actually refunded the game. I was so pissed off about that. I'm not a fan of like, sorry, I know some people might like love games like Outlast or like Remothered or something like that, but I don't like games where you have to outrun something all the time. For me, every horror game I play, I wanna fall in love with the atmosphere. I want to take in, I guess, as Mr. Beast or Logan Paul would say, I like my atmosphere drippy. You know what I mean? Like I want to, I want to really, really soak in the atmosphere of a horror game. Like that's why I play horror games. Like I want to see the decrepit furniture, the deteriorating walls. I want to read the sad, tragic notes of like a disparaging character. I want to find out like why, this part of the room is broken or why someone's shattered a picture of someone in another part of the room. I want to take my time and really soak that stuff in. For example, like Soma, my favorite horror game of all time, it's got a bunch of thick atmosphere type stuff that like you need to read a lot of information. You got to read a bunch of diary notes. You got to like really investigate like why people had like mental breakdowns and stuff like that through all this tragic stuff they're going through. That's what I love the most about my horror games. I like to be one of those people where even in things like Silent Hill, where like sometimes you get lost and end up walking through the same rooms again and again and again, I would be that person that would check like every corner of the room to be like, well, did I miss anything in this room? And I'd be like, oh, what's this? A strange mirror where your face gets kind of warped and changed when you look into it. Like, I want to find those little tiny touches and secrets and beautiful aspects that are hidden into or woven into the magnificent threading of that game as it's created. Those tiny things, the devs, the creators, the artists, the writers, that they are like, oh, this would just be a nice little thing to take a pinch of and just add it to the game. And when you have a stupid monster chasing you around the whole time, you lose all of that. You can't relax. You can't soak in the atmosphere. You can't enjoy the little things that have been added. Sometimes you can't even sit there and like go through notes and read them again and again, or like start to collect diary things and then take a pause and like go through every single diary note and everything. Like that's what I want to do in a horror game. And when a horror game has to like, it's like, so you gotta rush, come on, you gotta go. It's like, when I get ready for work in the morning, when I have to drive to school, when I was back in Japan and I had to catch a train, I got the rush all the time. You know what I don't want to fucking do when I get home to relax and enjoy games? Rush. I don't want to rush. I want to take my time and I want to enjoy every little drop of that wonderful horror magnificence that you have weaved together. Please don't rush me through this. I did not buy a game so I could rush through it. Sorry, rant over. Okay. I wish Moonbloom won instead of Glow Squid. Oh yeah, for like the monsters that they added and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And like even the one little things that they'll add, you'll be like, oh, what does this do? Okay, I guess that's cool. Whatever. It's still kind of the same game. I think the don't call them a child person was just being difficult. Yes, Meadow, you are 100% right. Like I said, I felt like, eventually I just ignored it because I felt like this person's just trying to play like semantics or word games with me. They don't actually know what they want. And you're totally right. But it did make me realize that there is some times where I'm like, what do you do in this situation? Like, there is some like actual uses of the English language that runs into problems trying to fit non-binary in there. And I'm like, I'm not saying this to be difficult. I'm not saying this to disregard non-binary. I'm just saying like if this is becoming more common, if people are feeling more free and more expressive of who they truly are deep inside, I am okay. I'm totally okay. I respect it. That's fine. I'm an artist, dude. Like being, customizing who you are is all about what art is about. You are finding your true customized self down to every last bit of yourself as an artist. But But if this is official now, and as America, we are starting to recognize it and stuff like that, then I wish they would write language rules into the HML language or the Oxford language rules that would allow me to better understand how to quantify and properly conjugate using a non-binary subject. Like, okay, we're all recognizing this. We're all starting to realize it's getting used more, that people are becoming more comfortable with this. Can we please have like grammar rules? So I'm kind of really picky on grammar because I'm an English teacher, right? Like I taught English for 15 years before I became an art teacher. So I don't know. It's an English teacher thing, man. I'm not trying to be difficult either. I'll leave it alone. Zoop, nah, is Trump gonna make you move back to Japan? Why would Trump make me move back to Japan? I'm an American citizen. Honestly, I think Trump and Japan get along pretty good. Like, Japan's reaction to Trump becoming president is kind of like, oh, really? Oh, okay, all right. Like that's it. Like they're, I think if anything, they're probably happy about it because it means big tariffs for China, which makes it much easier for Japan to compete with China. And Trump's not going to put big tariffs on Japan because Japan doesn't try to take away a bunch of jobs or fight to monopolize an industry that they want to solely control. And I'm not saying China does that all the time. We do sometimes lose jobs to China because we put a lot of mass production over there, which it's becoming less and less common now because of a lot of the crazy rules the CCP has been coming up with recently, and because some corporate espionage has started to happen where people are realizing proprietary and what do you call it? Proprietary and patents have been stolen sometimes recently from America to China and other places in the world as well. So, yeah. Anyway, do you have any thoughts on Trump getting elected? Oh boy, I'm gonna lose all my audience on this. For the most part, guys, I'm left leaning. Okay. I am non-party affiliated, though. I did not vote for Kamala Harris, and I did not vote for Trump. I'm non-party affiliated, and I equally feel like Democrats and Republicans in politics are out to take care of themselves first. I don't really believe the Democratic side or the Republican side of politicians are really they're really for the people. No, they're for themselves first. They're for their friends second. They're for their family third. They're for the people who lobby for them fourth. And then maybe fifth or sixth down the line, they might think about the American people. And that's Democrats and Republicans. Okay? Don't get it twisted. I do not trust politicians. I do not. Okay? So you're not hearing someone who's like a bleeding heart liberal or a diehard MAGA hat, okay? The good stuff I can see coming out of Trump, okay? And this is me trying to make the most positive spin I can make in my mind on it, okay? You always got to look on the bright side. Do not crucify me for the things I'm about to say. I would like to see less money be diverted from America to foreign countries and them get billions and billions before we take care of our own goddamn people here in America. Let's take care of things like healthcare. Let's take care of things like the cost of housing. Let's take care of the things like wages so goddamn low that people can't even afford a single one-bedroom apartment while working 40 to 50 hours a week. Let's take care of shit like that with our money and our taxes before we keep giving all this fucking shit away to other countries that have nothing to do with our own agenda. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean I hate other countries or I want to see them fail or I don't care that innocents are being killed in wars around the world? No, that's not what it means. Of course, I don't want that to happen. I don't ever want to see anyone innocent, no matter what side of what war they're on or anything like that. I don't want to see Russians die. I don't want to see Ukrainians die. I don't want to see Palestinians die. I don't want to see anybody Israel die. I don't want to see Jewish people die. I don't want to see Zionists die. Jewish Zionists, I don't know. They seem to be talked about as like the same thing now. I don't want to see anybody die. I don't like war. War is not cool. The killing of innocents is not cool. And I don't care which side any of those people are on. I don't care what religion or what country they're in. There's innocent people being killed on every single side. I don't like that. But at the same time, I also don't like seeing billions of our taxpayers' money going to other countries to take care of them first while the American people themselves suffer. Why are we always playing world police, right? So if there's one thing I think Trump might do that's good, and again, this is me trying to squeeze the one positive thing I can see come out of this is maybe our American taxpayers' money will finally be put back in the taxpayer's pocket now that Trump is in office. And I hope no one burns me alive at the stake for saying that. And no, it doesn't mean hate towards anyone by me saying that. Me saying I want to see my own fellow Americans, whether they be hardcore, pro-life, gun-toting, staunch conservatives, or ultra-gay, queer, bi, non-binary, furry suit wearing libtards who want everything covered in rainbows, okay? I still want to see both of those groups that I just talked about get money first from their own taxes here in America before I see it go to another country. Is that too cruel to say? If it is, I'm sorry, but no matter what your political beliefs are, if you work a job, then you work a job, and you deserve the benefits of paying for those taxes, income taxes, property taxes, city taxes, working for you and not for another country. Where do I feel like Democrats really failed? Why they didn't win this election? My own personal opinion. And again, this is me not attacking Democrats. I'd say probably 80% of my friends are Democrats. Okay? They're like far left-leaning liberals. Again, I'm not a Democrat. I am permanently registered as a non-affiliated party member. Okay? That means no party. Not a Democrat, not a Republican. Where I think the Democrats failed is they did not use multimedia well enough. They didn't get out there and talk to the people's people on things like podcasts, YouTube. They did not make themselves available enough to get to the core of what they were all about. They did not get out there and represent the blue collar workers of America and like get to know them and get to find out what's rough for them. They did not get down there on the street, pounding the pavement, asking the common man, what is your struggle? What is your pain? Whereas I feel the Republican side did a much better job of it. I completely realize it's all for show. Okay. I'm not a dum-dum. I don't think Trump working at McDonald's for a day makes him some kind of saint. And I don't think anything other than that is done completely for show. But guess what? It's a good show for those voting. And I think Biden could have got out there in a goddamn Burger King uniform or a KFC uniform and shown that even he too is able to understand the common man. I think Kamala Harris could have gotten out there with construction workers or something like that and seen that they were there to be eye to eye, on the ground, foot to foot with other hardworking, salt of the earth Americans. I think that's something the Democrats really neglected. They did not make themselves available enough to the common everyday American. Oh, they were out there talking to Hollywood, You know, the one percenters of Hollywood, they were out there talking to, you know, the richy people of all the richest richland areas, you know, getting them to promote them, getting them to talk about them. Oh, I'm Taylor Swift and I promote Kamala Harris. That's great. What the fuck do I care about who you vote for? Your life is nothing like mine. You know, no offense to any Swifties. A lot of my students are big time Swifties. Okay. But getting people like that who have like no sort of idea what my reality and the other hardworking Americans' reality is like means nothing to voters. Right. And I think that's where the Democrats really failed. What am I worried for as Trump becomes president, as we go into an almost all Republican Congress and an all I do worry for a lot of my friends in the LGBTQ plus community. I know some of them might face some backlash. I worry about healthcare for people. I don't think a lot of healthcare benefits and needs will be taken care of as well. And honestly, no matter who had gotten into office, Democrat or Republican, I worry about the jobs and future of America's next generation. I worry about what kind of benefits, what kind of life, what kind of values, what kind of opportunities they're going to have, because I'm a parent. So, I mean, there's my most unmasked and unbridled political beliefs out there in the open. Hate me or love me for them. I respect yours, whatever yours are. And if you have a point against anything that I've said, I'm more than willing to hear it and be open-minded and start a civil conversation with you in Discord. And I welcome you there to do that. But I don't hate you. I don't not want to see you here. And I don't want to have any kind of discrimination against you, even from my own viewers or other people in the stream. If you are a far right-leaning conservative or a far left-leaning Democrat, you are okay in my book. Is that okay? Did I make myself clear enough? Let's see. Let me check. Now let me just see if like everything's gone up in flames after that giant declaration. Okay, hold on. I got to check up on everything. I think, yeah, okay. Do you have, okay. So Hogo, I hope that answered your question. I saw a ton of no pissing signs. Haha, dude, I tried to find English shirts, but it was kind of hard. It's getting harder and harder to find English shirts these days because of AI. AI is finally correcting a lot of the stuff Japanese used to write. If I had a light show and theme song played and then it turned on, but it didn't move when I was there, why do so many Japanese seem to support Trump? I'm guessing because they tend to lean more. Yeah, number one, most Japanese lean more conservative. Number two, Trump is more anti-China, which Japan loves to hear. Number three, they've always kind of been on the same playing field. Not a lot is going to change. Trump has always really respected Japan. And any trip he's ever made over there has gone splendidly. And it's been the same too for the Democratic side as well. Japanese get along very well with either side of the political spectrum. They're really good about that. You know, he is staying quiet right now because he has a defamation trial going on against him right now. Who is that? Who's staying quiet right now? Tim, everything you're saying is what makes Resident Evil Remake one of my favorite games of all time. Man, Resident Evil Remake Part 4 was so good. In a Let's Play of Silent Hill 2, my favorite part was the part in which James had a ridiculous argument with Eddie while Eddie is eating pizza. My question is, where did Eddie order that pizza? Right? Where did he order that from? Ugh. All right, I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay on. I'm going to start to like make it an early night tonight. Yeah, dude, the best horror in whatever medium, game, literature, movie form is that which uses attrition. that drip, drip, drip you spoke about is letting the horror seep into you and let your mind sink into the abyss. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For me personally, I'm not a big fan. I used to be a big fan when I was younger of like splatterpunk gore type horror and stuff like that. But as I get older, psychological and existential horror is by far my favorite. I'm already planning my next trip for May, going to Osaka, Kyoto. All right, if you have any questions about going to Osaka or Kyoto or any of those places, let me know. Julie should have taken hours or better yet to process that she survived and is sharing a headspace with the spirit. Yeah. Do not know. I guess I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. I don't know if you've heard of the band Crystal Lake. Yeah, I know. Isn't it called Crystal Lakes? I could be wrong, but isn't it like plural? Hold on, let me check. I just want to make sure. I always thought like, because I was like, wait, lakes. Oh no, it is only one, right? Oh, it is only one. Okay, my bad. Okay, you're right. Crystal Lake is good. I do like them. I listened to them like a long time ago. They were in a concert one time, I think with Maximum the Hormone. Jewish folk and Zionists are not the same. Okay, and look, like I, I totally, I'm not trying to like mess that up or talk trash about either Jewish. I have Jewish friends. I don't know if I have Zionist friends. I don't totally know the difference. I know my religious education and like, look, I know Judaism is both a religion and um, a culture as well. Like it, so yeah, I'm not educated enough in Zionist or Judaism to know the difference, and I'm not trying to make light of that or, you know, push them together into one pile. Do you think the ancient monolithic structures like Göbekli Temple of Baalbek, pyramids, etc., were created by humans, aliens, or ancient laws? They were made by humans. I mean, any questions like this when it comes down to like, I love ghosts, I love aliens, I love creepy pastas, I love urban legends, I love all things that are mysterious, creepy, I love rabbit holes and everything like this. But at the end of the day, I do refer to Occam's razor, and Occam's razor files everything down to the most simplistic and easiest way to answer what could have happened. And humans would be the first answer to everything we've ever had built here on Earth. Um, I would need to see some very hard proof to ever imagine aliens had anything to do with anything we've ever built. I think a lot of Americans agree with your political sentiments, as it's just common sense to want our taxes helping our own country. Yeah, there's a big difference between having a different opinion and outright disrespecting me. I voted for Trump and I don't see anything wrong with what you said. See, this is why I love you guys. I can lift all this off my chest, tell you how I think it is. You can love Trump and I don't care. It's fine. We're still friends, dude. I voted Trump. The abortion banning shit sucks, but yeah, I am actually pro-choice. I think a woman should always have a choice to do what they want to do with their own body. I mean, and I also look at it from the Japanese perspective, where I do have some Shintoist beliefs. And for me, an aborted baby does not die. It goes back into the nirvana pool, swirling around, swirling around. Oh, mommy, do I get to get born this time? No? Okay, back to the pool, swirling around, swirling around. Okay? So in Shintoist beliefs, you're not really killing the child. You're just sending it back to the baby pool. And that's why like abortion's not a question about like, is it okay or not? Kamala and Biden creep me out. I don't buy into the Trump and Elon and then in all of them bullshit cults of personality though. That's cool, man. Josh, dude, you sound like very down to earth, the things you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I got something nasty in my tooth. Oh, I got a big chocolate chip in my tooth. Yeah, like Biden and Kamala didn't creep me out or anything like that, but I felt like they were disconnected from the common man. And when I say that, I mean like the down to earth, everyday, hardworking American man and woman. All right. I felt like You ever seen a movie where like a god comes down to earth and is like very disoriented and is like, why doesn't that person just wish for food and create it like I do? Oh, these silly humans, they don't understand how to survive because they don't use their power to make stuff exist. And it's just like, hey, we're not all God like you. We can't just fucking pull shit out of the air. Like, have some sympathy, you asshole. Like, I mean, I feel like that about the richest Republicans too, like Elon Musk too. I mean, Elon Musk wants Trump for president because he wants his tax cuts. You know, I'm not completely disillusioned as to think like, oh, that we got to have the truthers in there and stuff like that, and only Trump and Elon are telling the truth and stuff like that. No, fucking the Democrats are full of bullshit lies. Um, and they probably have just as many ties to nasty stuff like Epstein and stuff like that, just as much as Republicans and all them do too. And they're full of fucking lies. They're both liars. I don't trust politicians. They're always lying. Um, when I asked if Trump will make you move, by the way, I'm more meant if you think he'll make things bad. No. That's a good. Okay, I understand what you mean now. That I thought I did. I will say, Zoopnai, I thought you meant like, do they think I'm like I have like Japanese citizenship or something like that? Do they think like I'm gonna get deported? Okay, that's what I did think, but I understand what you're saying now, and I actually have heard some of my friends say that they feel like they want to move out of America because Trump's president again. I think that's fucking ridiculous too. Um, I don't like. Has anybody ever been in presidency where we've seen them do something so massively cataclysmic that you're like, holy shit, this isn't America anymore? I can't believe they just passed that law that fucking changed the entire ethos of America. Like, he's probably going to pass some stuff I don't like, and he's probably going to pass some stuff I do like. You know what? If Kamala was in there, she probably would have done the same thing. Pass some dumb shit I thought was like a waste of time, and maybe pass some stuff that I thought, okay. But none of them's going to do something like, I am launching all of America's nuclear bombs back on top of America. That none of them, like, okay, the thing that I've heard that sounds the most scary to me is probably the Project 2025. I've heard that they want to eliminate the Department of Education. Do I think that's really going to happen? No, probably not. Like that would take such a that would be like a cataclysmic level of change in America's governing body to completely eliminate the Department of Education. It's like, you can say you want to do that. I understand. And I do see many problems with the Department of Education. I'm not saying, well, it's so perfect. Please don't eliminate it right now. No, there's a fucking bunch of dumb bullshit. There's like all kinds of problems with it. But if you do remove it, you can't just leave like a void. You can't just be like, okay, we got rid of the Department of Education. I guess close all the schools. We don't have any programs anymore. Like, and I get why they're saying they even want to do that, because our education system is a goddamn mess. I'm not going to like pretend like, we're, conquering every country in math and science. We're not. We're like way low down on the list in the world. We've got kids who can't fucking spell and they're in high school. We've got kids going to college and unable to read. Our education is fucked. Okay? So I get it. I understand the sentiments of, we need to eliminate the Department of Education. It's like, okay, I get it. I understand why you would say such an extreme thing like that. Saying it and doing it are totally different. So if you wanted to ask what my biggest fear would be, it would be like that they actually did eliminate the Department of Education, which even if they did, just let me know what you're going to put in its place, all right? Because you couldn't completely remove it and have a functional country. It just wouldn't work. When I asked, Matsumoto Scott has a massive defamation case against him right now. That is what caused him to go quiet and retire. I did not know that, Eric. That's very interesting. I did not know that. What are some Shinto Buddhist holidays in Japan? You want to know one of my craziest ones? It's not an official holiday like you get off from school. Like there's actually Buddhist and Shinto holidays, quote unquote, don't They're not government holidays, so I don't want you to confuse that thing. Like there's a separation of church and state in Japan, okay? But one of my favorite ones for Shintoism is in Shintoism, dolls have a soul, just like a human would have a soul, okay? If you have a doll in your house, and I'm talking even down to baby dolls that you would buy for a little kid, or even some of those like more old school style geisha dolls, or even God, what are they called? I always forget the name of these things. Damn it! The dolls for a Kokiku doll. If you even have one of those are kind of the little creepy looking, long black haired, childlike looking dolls that used to exist for other reasons than they do now. If you want to throw one of those away, you can't as a Shintoist. Throwing them away is considered incredibly disrespectful because you're throwing away a soul. All right? Dolls are hollow inside. The reason they're hollow inside is because there's a soul in there, in case you didn't know. There is a special Shinto / Buddhist holiday called Burning of the Dolls, where a Buddhist priest, depending on, and like, please realize when I say just Buddhist priest, please realize that there's esoteric branches of Buddhism. There's, multiple branches of Buddhism. There's multiple branches of Shintoism. I'm not saying all of them, but for the most part, a good portion of them, just like, for example, there's many, many different types of Christianity, but they all celebrate Christmas, right? Okay. So there's a good portion of these Buddhist / Shintoist priests that have a doll burning day. And that is a day where your kids, people in the neighborhood, they bring all their dolls down to the local Buddhist temple or Shinto shrine, and they make a big pile of them in a big bonfire. And the Buddhist priest says a special prayer that releases the souls of all these dolls being placed in the soul fire. And they set it on fire, and those dolls can finally have their soul return to the nirvana pool and maybe reach the next level of existence. Pretty wild, right? I like it. I also voted Trump 3 times, to be honest, 2016, 2020, and 2024. The memes were so good. I want to go to Japan soon. Some of the people in Comic Circle I talk with go there on what they dubbed a manga quest. All right, Tim, if you go, let me know when you're going. So maybe if you go at the same time and if you go to Osaka, we'll go manga shopping together down in Nipponbashi. It's like Osaka's version of Akihabara. I'll take you down there. I'll show you all the best manga. And God dang, my leg's really itchy all of a sudden. Yeah, it's got all the best manga, like all the best action figures, and just like there's a place it's called Superposition too, and I want to show you that one because Superposition, literally the word itself means when all different realms meet up in one place. And so that shop has like a little bit of everything from every single manga that's ever existed. You'll find every kind of toy, every type of manga, it's an amazing store. I was better off 4 years ago. My personal views, it doesn't matter to me who you vote for or anything like that. You treat me like a human being with respect, and I returned it in kind. You crap on me and you get it right back. Thank you, Eric. That's exactly what I'm talking about. My rule is the golden rule, and it will always be the golden rule, no matter who you are, where you're from, what your religion is, what your politics are, anything like that. If you treat me okay, I'm going to treat you okay. I'm not going to judge you by anything else other than your treatment of myself. I think there should be proper sex education worldwide. I do agree. I completely agree with this, Meadow. We definitely need sex education again in school. Holy shit, do we need that? I don't care if it's an completely surgical level or extremely sterile level of explaining it via science, some kind of science class. I don't care if it's done in a more gym / PE focused health class. I don't care what they use as a template for backing it up. But sex education needs to be back in schools. Teaching about STDs, teaching about UTIs, teaching about pregnancy, teaching about sex safety, protection. Uh, and there, you know what else there needs to be in a fucking class? A class about balancing a budget, getting a bank account, writing checks, keeping a check account, having a checkbook that lists your checks, understanding what secured loans are and unsecured loans are, what credit card debt and APR are, what interest buildup is, and what going into default on a loan is. Why we do not teach kids this before they become adults makes no goddamn sense to me. And I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, you should be for both of these things: sex education and fucking economic education. Why we send kids into the world as adults and then be like, well, how'd they fuck up their life so bad? I don't get it. Thank you for drug traffickers. What? Interesting comment. Okay. You're a fan of drug traffickers, Hogo? I'm confused. I lost the plot somewhere along the line. Uh Oh, okay. I think, there should be proper sex. Oh, I didn't read this whole sentence. Hold on. I think there should be proper sex education worldwide, easier access to tubal ligation and such for AFAB people, and shelter/support systems for destitute parents and their kids. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Hogo, what? The first part got cut off? Was there a first part of thank you drug traffickers, or just like in general, you're like a big fan of drug trafficking? What Hog is trying to say is thank you for the devil's lettuce. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, I don't. For the most part, casual drug use, I don't care. It's fine, whatever. Obviously as teachers, we can get tested at any time. So I have to completely stay away from anything. But as for anyone else working any job where they want to participate in recreational drug use and they're an adult and they're consenting, whatever. The only thing I will say is I don't like all this use of painkillers and stuff like that. I think this mostly kind of finishing up here. It used to be a big problem before I left America. Like there was those crazy pain clinics and stuff like that where people would be doing like what was like Oxycontin and oxycodone and I forget all these different painkillers people used to be addicted to and stuff like that. Although I do see the problem with fentanyl right now, and that is scary as hell. I don't think that should ever be like legal or anything like that. It's crazy in Japan, nobody gets those kind of drugs. Like, who gets like actually Oxycontin or oxycodone? People in hospice care. That's the only people that a doctor would ever write that kind of painkiller for. I don't care if you've had your leg broken. Um, I don't care if you're post-op surgery. You don't get painkillers for the most part. I've never ever been offered a painkiller in Japan, no matter how severe. I busted my fucking head open and had to have 7 staples in it. Was bleeding out so much that like the doctor said if I hadn't come into the hospital when I did, I would have been like, I think as it translated, I would have been a white raisin the next day, as in like all my blood would have drained out of me and I would have been like a wrinkled mass. There was no, what do you call that stuff you rub where the skin gets numb? It's not antiseptic. Anyway, the stuff that numbs your skin or painkillers, they didn't do any of that. They just stapled me right in the head. And want to hear the craziest thing? I didn't go back to the doctor to get them removed. When it healed, I pulled them out myself because I'm hardcore like that. I'm not joking. I really did that. I took pliers and pulled them back out of my head. It was okay. They came out pretty easy. Novocaine? Oh yeah, okay. Dentists use Novocaine, yeah, of course. But Novocaine is not like an addictive, that's just like a numbing agent. That's not like a painkiller really, is it? I don't think anybody gets in like their arm broken and they're like, all right, you're gonna be on Novocaine for the next 5 days, right? I mean, I'm not joking, I'm not making fun of your idea or anything, Timothy. I'm just answering literally like, do they use it or not? I know for sure they use it because my wife's a dentist and but okay, here's one thing I will say about Japanese dentists. They know somehow like an exact amount to use for your weight and your size for when they apply Novocaine for like surgery on your mouth. And they do it so exact that like, have you ever been to like the American dentist and then like for the rest of the day, you're like, sorry, I can't eat right. The dentist put Novocaine in my lips, and to now I'm gonna eat my lunch. Oh, and like there's like drool dropping down your mouth and everything like that. And you're like, why did he put so much Novocaine in my mouth? And in Japan, they somehow efficiently put enough in there that by the time your mouth has healed, after getting a tooth pulled or getting a cap or getting a filling, by the time you're leaving the office, your mouth is not numb anymore. And it just blows my mind that they're able to do that. Like they'll be like, how much do you weigh? All right. You haven't like taken anything else today at all? Like no other drugs or anything like that? Like, obviously like things that can affect the Novocaine. And you're like, no, I haven't taken it. This is what I've taken. All right, and you're this many pounds. All right. And then they'll fill the thing up. And then they've got like really tiny needles too, like not like the giant jab ones that are made for us giant Americans. So you'd barely feel like even a pinch. Your mouth goes numb. They finish everything. And then you're walking out of the dentist and you realize, I can feel my mouth again already. And I just left. How's that possible? I remember it because I asked my wife, she's a dentist, and she's like, yeah, well, we just measure it all out and do like exact amounts for exact weight. I think in America they don't do that. And that's why sometimes you end up like, now for the rest of the day, I am going to talk and eat like this because I had one single tooth pulled this morning. It always used to fucking piss me off. I'd be like numb for the rest of the day and I couldn't enjoy my lunch. I couldn't enjoy my dinner. Ugh. The Golden Triangle, Thailand, Myanmar, Laos produce a lot of heroin. Ugh. Heroin's bad stuff, man. We got to keep that out of the country. You were forced to endure severe pain. What the fuck? Painkillers are freaking necessity in certain situations. Yeah. Yeah, there's times I was kind of just forced to endure. One time I had a pinched nerve in my back. I had a pinched nerve in my back. And it was so bad. And this is in Japan. It was so bad that like for 2 to 3 days, I got up. I could barely get up. And every movement I made was agony. Like I remember I'd get up from bed like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And like every step was like agonizing. And so my wife took me to the chiropractor. No, it wasn't chiropractor. Sorry, she took me to an actual back doctor. There's not chiropractors there. And he was like, "All right, we took an X-ray of your back. Looks like it's a pinched nerve." And he could speak English. The guy could speak English. And he said, "So let me just ask you, in America, what would the doctor probably give you in this situation?" And I was like, probably painkillers, like probably codeine, like not Oxycontin, but isn't like codeine like a little less extreme? Or like, what's the other one that's like, isn't there one that like starts with like, I forget what the other one was. I don't have all these drugs memorized. Anyway, and he was like, okay, yeah, we're not going to do that here. And so what he gave me were like patches for my back, and they slightly work. Like they're kind of like icy hot patches. and they start to like make the muscles and everything in your back relax and make you like tense up less. But like, yeah, you're just in agony for the next 3 days. Yeah. But there's not people ODing on painkillers. There's not people getting addicted. There's not people, robbing a pharmacy to take the painkillers. There's not a baby drinking juice that accidentally had fentanyl in it and dying. There's not like, I'm not saying I'm like totally anti painkiller or anything like that. I completely understand there's situations where you really just need to have painkillers. Like, for example, I had my wisdom teeth removed, all four of them at one time. If I probably didn't get painkillers that day in America when I had that done, I probably wouldn't eat for quite a while. That was very uncomfortable. But I think in Japan, they would just be like, here's Tylenol level 3. So, trust me, you're denied painkillers. I have yet to meet anyone who was ever given actual. Like, I had a friend who had a motorcycle accident, and they didn't even give him codeine or OxyContin. That was a rough situation. I felt bad for him because there was like days where he had to like drink alcohol just to feel like okay, and yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. And he's not drinking it because he's an alcoholic or anything like that. I mean, when he was finally healed up, he didn't drink nearly as much. But there's just days where like they just didn't give him something that would really. And the other problem we run into as Gaijin is we're bigger, and so like usually the stuff they even give us isn't even strong enough. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not saying everything the Japanese do is right. Look, I'm not trying to defend everything. Okay, there's probably definitely some situations where they really should. Panadine Forte. What's the one they take? Uh, Lox, Loxton or Lockton. I forget what they have some other one that's like a little bit stronger than Tylenol called like Loxin or something. And codeine used to be over the counter in Australia, now prescription only. Man, I'd lose my mind if I didn't have painkillers. Once wrote a poem about them, thought it was also a metaphor for toxic masculinity. There's definitely situations where you really do need like an opioid level of painkiller. But Japan just like the only people, I'm telling you, the only people in Japan who get like opioid level painkillers are like end of life patients. Like, like dying from kidney cancer patients. Like either we give them to this or they scream in pain for the last, few weeks of their life. So that's yeah. Shoot, I got a bunch of messages. What happened? Why am I tired at the end of the week and I need Thanksgiving break? Also, why does it seem so important to get a Thanksgiving break? We just had a week off and then my friend's asking. So we've got Thanksgiving break coming up soon. as teachers. It's not after this week, but it's after the next week, and then we get 9 days off. And he was saying to me, he's like, so we've already missed 8 days of school because of the two hurricanes that came through. And pretty much a lot of us teachers, like we got our houses kind of wrecked and stuff like that. Especially my neighborhood's by far the worst. But other people lost like, most of the other teachers I know right now, like they mostly only lost trees in their yard and stuff like that. They didn't have anything super devastating. One teacher I know actually had their house flooded, so they did have a pretty bad situation. But my friend was just saying to me, he's like, why am I so tired and desperate for the Thanksgiving weekend to start when I just had, 3 weeks ago, we just had 8 days off for all the hurricanes that came through here. And I said, yeah, those weren't like 8 days of relaxation. They were like 8 days of stress, struggle, worry, rebuilding. I was like, there's not a second of those days that we got off that I felt like I was enjoying a vacation. This is like the worst 8 days of my life. So I just said, like, don't feel like you're being greedy for time off. Like that wasn't a fun 8 days. I found the oh, here we go. Here we go. Ah, man, I'd lose my mind. Once I wrote a poem about, thought I was talking. Opioids freak me out. I found a bottle of oxys one time and threw it away because they felt so fucking good. I knew I could get addicted. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've had Oxycontin. I've had codeine. Life feels fucking wonderful on them. I can totally see why people get addicted to it, but me too. I could tell right away. Like I had to take them for my wisdom teeth to be pulled. I had them one time. I had a pinched nerve back in America too one time, and they gave me OxyContin. It was actually in college that happened. Was there any? Oh, the only other time I had to have codeine. It was like liquid codeine that you drink. I got strep throat so bad that like I stopped eating for 2 days, and so like the doctor was like, "Look, I need to give you something so you can start swallowing food again." I was so desperate at that time. I was my first year out of college, and for 1 week my throat hurt and I kind of swallowed food sort of for a week. And then the last 2 days that I had strep throat, it was just so painful that like I remember it was like so infected that I could feel the pain up through here all the way into like the back of my ear. And like even if I started to talk too loud, the vibration of my own throat started to cause like pain. And I just gave up on eating. Like eating was so uncomfortable that I stopped. And then finally, my girlfriend at the time was like, I don't care if you can't afford like the doctor, you need to go to the doctor. Like this is to a point where it's like unmanageable. You're gonna eventually get too weak and not even be able to go to work. And so finally I went, and like I think they felt really bad for me. Like they only charged me $100 for the visit. And yeah, you don't usually have a pharmacy at the clinic, but I remember they gave me a bottle of codeine right there, like a liquid bottle. They're like, you're gonna need to take like for real painkillers. Like you need to start drinking this now so you can start to eat, or you're gonna get like very, very weak. And so I remember the doctor just like handed me a bottle of it, and I was like, oh, can't believe it! I can finally swallow again. What a relief. Oh, I was such a I was really poor back then, man. That's when like my roommate and I used to live off of $50 each for food a month. Ugh. I took them recreationally and I was so chilled out and happy. I remember playing some indie game and thinking it was the most gorgeous thing I'd ever played and was so immersed, LMAO. Yeah, I mean, that's why people get addicted to that shit. It's like life on steroids, pretty much, like happy life on steroids. But what'll eventually happen is then your brain has less and less of a chemical response like that because it starts to balance out its serotonin. And then when you're not taking it, your brain suddenly hits like this ultra depression and it says, hey, you've been supplying me with happy pills So I haven't had to overproduce serotonin. And now suddenly you're going to take that away from me? Stop, dude. If you don't go get that right now, I'm going to make you very sick. So you need to go get more of those so we can balance the fuck back out again. And that's why people get addicted. That's why they start like trying to do anything and everything they can to get a hold of those pills. That's why I think they're a danger. I've seen it. Like I had 3 different people I graduated high school with died from either taking them and overdosing or doing something stupid to try and be able to get them and dying because of the situation they put themselves in to try and get those pills. Was a decent game, but felt perfect AF. I'm going to get some coffee. All right, I think I'm probably going to sign off in a little bit anyway, guys. I need to hit the bed early tonight. I didn't get to bed till 4 a.m. last night, and then I woke up, I think, at like 6:45 or something like that, and got started cleaning again. Oh, no, wait, I got started with setting up my Christmas tree. Hold on. Look, there it is. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm happy, dude. It's my first year with setting up a Christmas tree in this house. Makes me like really. God, I got the big chocolate chip on my tooth. You guys see that? Big old chocolate tooth. Got it. But it's a really proud moment. So first time I'm setting up my Christmas tree in my house that I own. So it was kind of an exciting thing to do. Reminds me of the moon Brain Damage. God, that's a good one. Yeah, dude, my brother's friends growing up and him were all into that. He's one of the last one. He's still alive. Like 10 plus of his friends have died. Yeah, man. You can't become dependent on that shit. Life, whenever I'd hear someone had become like so addicted to something that they needed to have it every day to like live a normal life, I would always say like every day of your life cannot be a 5-star day. Like no one gets to have a 5-star day every day of their life. So don't expect that. Don't think you deserve that. And don't try to, fight, fuck, hunt, or kill to try and get that. We as humans are not deserving of a 5-star day every day. Without struggle, the beautiful things in this world would not feel beautiful. Without pain, the happiness, joy, and comfy parts of our life would not feel that way. It would all blur together. So be strong for the hard days and fight through the struggling days, but know that they exist to give you a balanced taste of what beautiful life really is like. When I made it through that time with the hurricane, with my house freaking all ripped apart, no AC and no electricity for 5 days straight, I can't really put into words how good air conditioned felt again, how wonderful and cleansing a hot shower felt again, and how delectable cold juice hitting my mouth felt again. And it was all because I had just suffered through 5 days of torturing heat, sunburnt skin, my nose peeling, my tummy empty, my desperation for just one damn hot cooked meal. They all tasted so good. My thirst was so quenched. My bed was so comfy in the AC. My shower was so embracively warm and cozy that it lets you know sometimes the suffering is worth it. That contrast makes life so much more beautiful. So don't try to blur it or scratch it or put a mosaic over the painful parts of your life. Embrace it, fight through it, struggle until you can reach the joy again naturally. And that joy will be 100 times better than anything a pill form of that joy has to offer. Right? I don't know, man. There is reasons for pain. There is reasons for struggle. If you have a part of your skin that's gotten a stab or a puncture or an abrasion so bad that it becomes infected, the doctor then has to cut your skin once more to alleviate, drain, or heal that pustulant part of your damaged body. So sometimes to get past pain, you have to inflict more pain and more damage so that healing can finally begin. When people ask why God puts us through these brutal moments of having loved ones die, or the struggle of life as we watch relationships break up, or we watch our family members go through a painful bout, or we lose something precious to us like our house or a loved one. And you're like, why? Why would life put me through this? Why would life make me endure this level of pain? I'm already struggling. And then on top of it, you're going to do this to me. Sometimes the doctor has to cut into a wound to heal it. And when it's finally healed, everything feels so much better. And you can really, really appreciate having that part of yourself be healthy again. Right? Right? It's not just pain is temporary, glory is forever. It's pain is necessary to reach glory. Right? Oh well. I don't know why I suddenly dropped into that philosophical rant all of a sudden. There are days when me and my wife scratch and struggle to get the little bit we get, but we enjoy it when we get the small little victories. It could be a special treat like a certain dinner. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, just right now, I just went through rebuilding parts of my house. I went through my first year of living here back in America, having to share a tiny little condo with my parents and my son, sleeping in the same bed in one tiny room where I was stuffing everything in one bedroom. But this year, here I am with most of my house, most of it rebuilt, few repairs still needed, but just waiting in escrow right now. And tonight I was able to put up my first Christmas tree in America in 15 years in my own house that I own. And it's just a small little joy. Like, no one's like, oh my God, I put up a Christmas tree. Wow. But for me, this is really, really nice. Just really nice. I look over and I can see that comfy, warm glow in the corner of the house that I know I own. And that is something that was a hell of a struggle, but it's one hell of a reward, too. Welcome back, Meadow. That stress will be my house. My friend and I are just talking about the one guy I work with too at work. He really helped me out a ton with like getting through like how bad it was during the hurricane, and we both said that we cannot believe how fast this year is going. That like this year seems faster than any other. Well, I shouldn't say any other year because it's only my second year in America, but compared to 2023, 2024 is like life on a bullet train. It is blasting past me. All right. Well, Meadow, I hate to do it to you, but I think I'm going to end it here. It's almost 8 o'clock. I need to get to bed early tonight. Very happy to share this time with you guys again. Always very fun. I feel very lucky to be able to do this with you guys. And it also, you know what was really nice? The highlight of my night tonight was the fact that all of us just had a little bit of a political discussion here. And we found out a lot of us are all over the place when it comes to our political backgrounds. And guess what? We're leaving this still friends here. Everybody in here is still friends. I still consider you, some of my best friends I have for streaming. And that's awesome. This is the kind of thing America needs to spread more of. Let's all be our own political belief, our own whatever belief, and let's all stay friends at the same time. I wish more people had this kind of stuff in their life like we have here. I'm very thankful for it. You guys have a great night too. All right. Love you all. And I'll probably see you either on the Discord or maybe next Friday.